Burumisia. To me, Corona means Italy. Burumisia. Joni has been fantastic, and she's been fighting for Iowa values. Burumisia. So we're going to get it going to a level that nobody can ever turn course on us, nobody can ever change. Burumisia.
I don't read, obviously.
But to me, Corona means Italy. Burumisia. Burumisia. Rarely does anything happen. Voila. 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 Burumisia. Burumisia. Perfecto. Burumisia. Soon it's going to be perfecto. Burumisia.
You're gonna frack. You're gonna frack.
They don't like the gas. They don't like the gas. Burumisia. To me, Corona means Italy. Burumisia.
Computer board. Computer board.
The Burmese executives. So these Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. Joe. So we're going to Burumisia. So we're going to me, Corona means Italy. So we're going to get it going to a level that nobody can ever turn course on us, nobody can ever change. Joni has been fantastic, and she's been fighting for Iowa values. You can climb right over their face. To me, Corona means Italy. Hydrosonic, I call it super duper.
Computer board. Computer board.
We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges.
This could be bad. This could be a possibly, I could, we don't know. Music's about to stop. I have a beverage, but I cannot speak for the fact that it will stay upright. I'm a man, ladies and gentlemen, of habit. And habit when I'm allowed to get into the habits that I have, I find very productive. So thanks for the hype train right out of the gate, you guys. Welcome. Hi. I like to, hey, NorCal, you guys, I hope you're doing all right. As long as I can kind of do the habitual things that I need to do to start my day. Do you have too much coffee? No. I've had no coffee. Let's see, how could Trump still win even if Biden gets more votes? Only if he loses the Electoral College, which I don't see happening. Yes, indeed.
No, this is soup from my family.
That's right. So that's how I opened the show. It was a little soup from my family. You're my family, and I'm giving you the soup of too much information. Hold on one second. Let me shut my door. So this is part of the ritual, I suppose, every day. And I go and I get a beverage, and I come back and set my stuff up and get all ready. And when I find a beverage I enjoy, I will often buy more of them than I need and put them away. So they're on call, right? And so I'll buy a box of them, and I got a dented box, long story short. And so the dented box means the can is not quite stable. And so I'm concerned about drippage and leanage. So if I seem distracted, I'm worried about a beverage landing on my laptop. That's the big concern right now. Too much information. You don't need to know this. How are you? Happy Friday. Good to see you guys. I'm opening up my Restream chat, and of course I mean, what do we have? We have 3 Trump gatherings today. I'm not doing all of them. I'm not. I refuse. This is just nonsense. And it's just so Motang.
Michigan gave us Motang.
That's right. So welcome Motang gang on Burmesia Friday. I think probably one of the best kind of bullshit saves of Trump's entire career
Burmesia.
Was that one.
The Burmesia executives. So this Burmesia, they say, pronounce it Burmesia.
Oh, it's just painful. It is friggin' yeah. No, we do not. I appreciate you being concerned about my potential burnout, either by just overdoing it myself or my beverage tipping over, which is an aminos drink that I'm drinking for, like a post-workout beverage to keep hydrated and focused on what we want to do today. So there's he was in 3 places today in Florida, Ocala, Florida, Fort Myers, and then they had another sort of weird gathering, like for a seniors gathering or something, where he met with Ron DeSantis, none of them wearing masks, everything you would, basically doing everything you can to kill every old person in Florida. They all came out and let's see hold on, you can't do a koozie for a can this size. They're tiny. These are these little European cans, which I like. So he accused the Bidens of being a mob family. I mean, the projection level is hysterical. I mean, I think one of the things we should do is, even though the Lincoln Project broke down that ad of that little weird propaganda video that Don Jr. put out, might need to jump in on that with both feet. I'm just saying, since the story doesn't seem to be holding together very well.
The company that his son worked for, that's Burmisma.
Burmisma. I can't. All right, I'm worried about you guys. Hold on. I have remnants of my tea in here, and it's going to be weird. So I'm pouring that out, and I'm pouring this in. I'm not going to the bathroom. You're really hearing me pour a drink. I swear at one point, I was going to prank you guys a while back and have this set up, when I run off to the bathroom sometimes, and pretend I left my mic on and just take switch screens and then start pouring water into a thing to make it sound like I'm peeing, and you're like, oh my God, he left his mic on or whatever, and then hit the button and come back on screen and you guys watch me pouring glass to glass. But I was like, you guys don't deserve that. It's just It's just a dick move. I can't grab the kitties because they're upstairs behind a plexiglass barrier so that they don't escape out into the house. Is Rudy Giuliani going to get a no-knock on his door? No, he is not. There's... All the stuff to seize of Rudy's is too easy to get because he's dumb. But yeah, we'll get into that later. Let's jump right in because there may be other stuff to grab today. But he's out in Ocala, Florida, heading down the U-Bag. Macho, macho man, don't fall down. Fist hand job, a macho. My tie is tucked into my front of my pants. Okay, wait. Hold on. Party foul. Wait a second. He's walking down the thing. I don't know if that's smart or weird, but he tucked his tie into the front of his pants. Here's a good idea. Don't wear your tie so long that if it's free, it will smack you in the face. Get a proper length tie, because look at this excess that's not necessary. This is like a trick that you'd see in a Three Stooges sketch that goes south. He tucked it into his pants. It's caught in a zipper, yeah. He's got a tie clip. That's what they're for. Hell? What the hell? Level 4 hype train already. And welcome everybody over on Facebook as well. Think about becoming a supporter. There's like a button to support the show there. I don't know how it works, but you can do it. And to all the Periscope folks, thanks for the super hearts. Hello and welcome. Feel free to fire those up as well. And we'll always have Venmo. All right, here we go. This is, oh God, I can just tell there's going to be a lot of, wait a second, because this is the third time he's done this crap today. And he walks down a flight of stairs, and he doesn't fall on his face. And we hope that his tie doesn't come loose and fly all over the place. And I'm proud to be a hand job and a point, clap, 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 fading, clap, 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 clap. Point or hand job, which one? Point or hand job, 50-50. Flip a coin and point. It was a point on that one. Okay, cool. Point, another point. 2 points for those who said point, and we'll go straight to hand job on the next one. What do you think? Yep, there you go. 5 hand jobs. Sorry, it balanced out. Okay, so, hey, point guy, hey. And he's smiling a lot more. By the way, he's smiling a lot more because the lady said he liked his smile. So he's going to be doing that. You seen the literal video? You're doing an excellent, oh. A literal video? No, I'm just watching this as we watch it. I don't watch any of this stuff beforehand. I'm not going to torture myself. Jesus. Clap, 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 clap. I just have to do this during the music so I don't get a copyright strike from these jerks. Clap, clap, point. Clap, 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 clap. Yeah, point, pointing, clap, clap, clap. They like when I point. Point. Clap, clap. There you are. Hey, guy. Hand job, hand job, hand job, hand job. And this is so weird. Okay, clapping, and then he's finally making his way up. And then somebody got to make sure the stairs are clear for him, or what happens? Nope. Can he make it without it? He's going to eat it this time. Nope. There we go. Oh, this is I've got the audio on the wrong one. Hold on.
Thank you very much. Unbelievable. Can you believe how many people look behind the fake news? Can you believe?
By the way, he said that in this rally too. Hold on. Because I was like, do we do the earlier one? Where is it? I have to go back. The Fort Myers thing. He says, do you believe? That's going to be his new tagline. At the, yeah.
How many people are back there? I wish they'd turn their cameras. You want to turn the cameras around, show? That is a lot of people here today. You know, they never...
Yeah, it's dumb. You know where all of Biden's voters are? Standing in line to vote.
That they won't report it. There are thousands of people behind
At this free event.
these people. Why do you give them the good location for? Got to talk to our people about that. Why are we giving the media the good location? Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you to Florida. We love Florida. And it's
This
great
is, by the way, Right Side's feed, so you can tell they're doing what he says. He's like, turn the camera and look. He's like, okay, turn the camera and look.
to be back in this magnificent state. You know, I live
Magnificent, David.
here too. You know.
All right, by the way, I'm doing this real quick. I can't. One second. Oh, crap. Come on. Scanning, 1 second. I'm doing something technical. 1 second, and we'll do that in a moment. Grab that. Take this guy. Drag it over there. I'm not giving Right Side any special privileges.
Right. With thousands of loyal, hardworking, great American patriots. So, 18 days, can you believe it? 18. Think of that, 18.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it right now. Oh my God, it can't come fast enough.
Like around 4 years ago, I'll never forget, January 20th, I stood up in the great
January 20th. Seriously, he's dipping into Kudlow's.
White House. First night, First Lady. I stood right next to the Lincoln bedroom and I said, can you believe this? And now 4 years goes by. It goes by so quickly, doesn't it?
No, it dragged like a son of a bitch.
But no administration has
Done more in the, oh God.
done in 3.5 years. No administration has done even close to what this administration has done. None. And that's
Dude,
despite
I'm going to go with comorbidities, brother. I mean, I'm glad you're wearing a mask. But man.
phony witch hunts, phony impeachments, all of the things, and it ended up that they did it. Can you believe that?
No, I don't believe that. Because I've looked at the evidence. By the way, please reaffirm that you want everything unredacted and released. Dummy.
They did it. But we've done a job, and you've done a job, and we're working together, and we love you all, and we love this state, and thank you very much.
That was a good one. That was a nice run right there. That was some Toastmasters right there.
Thank you very much.
We've done good, and you've done good, and we've done together.
And by the way, we're leading in Florida. You know we're leading in Florida.
Yeah, so kick back.
Right? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think if Hal played all three rallies at once, they'd be in sync. Yeah, except for his weird, very, he picks something really awkward to kind of hammer every time. He gets stuck on one thing.
No, we're leading in the state of Florida. How would it be if we didn't have the Russia witch hunt and all this nonsense that they threw at us for almost 4 years with the spying and all the things? How would it be?
Guys, honest to God, this looks like one of those videos where they slow people down to make them sound like they're drunk. I'm dead serious.
They wouldn't even have an election. We'd just say, okay, we'll take it for another 4 years, right? But now we're doing great. At 18
You mean if you weren't you might be doing well right now?
days from now, we're going to win the state of Florida. We're going to win 4 more years in the White House.
Hoorah.
And early voting starts on Monday. We're going to have a red wave, it's called, the red wave.
It's called. Everything's got to have a name. It's all branding. It's called a red wave. I don't call it Twitter. I call it social media.
So get out and vote. No, they're calling it a...
This is playing at regular speed. I have not slowed this down. Can't stop playing.
These people, look at all those cameras. They're calling it a red wave. They expect there may be, not forget about the word may. They said there may be a big red wave. We will have a red wave, the likes of which they've never seen before, and that includes 4 years ago.
Jesus.
Joe Biden is
a guy who talks.
He's a disaster, let's face it, but...
Really? Really? Because he beat you in the ratings last night.
Last night, did you see the easy questions? No.
Did you see him?
Did you watch that whole deal?
Yes. I saw George Stephanopoulos push him on every single question that was presented to him.
Did you see him a week ago with Lester Holt on NBC? Like, come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Can we help you with the answer, Joe? It's a disgrace. And you saw what I got last night, right?
Yeah. What you deserved.
But it's
also a ball cradling from your old network.
Okay. She's like disappeared. Nobody can find her. She's not too popular right now.
What?
But we enjoyed it.
She works at like 4 o'clock in the morning. She's got a day off afterwards.
You know, we enjoyed it. You know, we don't say, give us the questions, give us the answers. We wanted this. We don't want to read it off teleprompters. We don't want to do that.
Why do you have teleprompters then? Says the man with 2 teleprompters.
And we know.
Anyways, let me get back to the teleprompter.
What we got, and people really expect it. And by the way, if you can't handle Savannah, you cannot handle Putin and President Xi and Kim.
What? You didn't? Then you can't handle Putin and President Xi because you didn't handle Savannah.
Jong-un. That's small potatoes last night. That's small potatoes. But it does seem unfair when you have a guy that's kind.
No, okay. The inversion aspect of this braggadocious bullshit is the aggravating part of it, because the idea is that, you know, right. He was answering questions from her. It wasn't a debate. They didn't ditch, like, this is just dumb.
Getting questions like you're talking to a child, right? Like you're talking to a child. They say, what's this? And then
they said, what's this? That's a good question. Remember when George Stephanopoulos said, what's this? Suppy. Jesus Christ. This is like watching Foster Brooks impersonating the president. This is goofy.
You get like, boom, boom. You're talking to a child. They say, what's this? And then you get like, boom. Right? Like,
tell me the story.
Constantly getting questions like you're talking to a child. Right? Like you're talking to a child. They say, what's this? And then you get like, boom, boom. What about this? What about that? What about this? Now, but that's why we're here, right?
Jesus Christ. Oh, Foster Brooks was brilliant. But it's like him doing, this is really stupid. They ask Biden questions, they're like, what's this? And you get the boom, boom, and they're like a boom, what about, blah, blah, blah.
You know the expression? You know the expression? They come after us from every angle. They're after us. And we're here, and they're not. So it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good.
Is that the expression? Was there an expression in there? What the hell was that? Honestly. Wait, back up. This is, find the expression. Let's play find. What's this? They say, what's this? What's this?
But that's why we're here, right? You know the expression?
Yeah.
You know the expression?
What is it?
They come after us from every angle. They're after us. And we're here, and they're not. So it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, that classic one. That classic old phrase. you know, and they come after us, and we're here, and they're not. So it's pretty good. That one, you know what I mean? Was that Ben Franklin or Shakespeare? I always get them mixed up.
And we appreciate this great support, but Biden is the living embodiment of the corrupt political class that should...
The corrupt, oh shit. The corrupt political class says the most, like, and the fact that he says crass, I mean, is a Freudian slip of his own. But weren't we just talking about how we don't need a teleprompter, and then this happens?
And we appreciate this great support, but Biden is the living embodiment of the corrupt political class that should, and you take a look what he's done. It's a political class that enriched itself while...
Jesus. And you take a look. I didn't say crass. You heard, you got shit in your ears, buddy.
...draining the economic life and soul from our country. Look at what's happened. And now you see it. And you see it better than ever before.
That's right. Because the Obama-Biden presidency was so bad that it caused a pandemic 3 years into my presidency. All these problems I'm dealing with 3 years into my presidency are all their fault.
And with all of the things...
Embodiment. I don't know what that was.
...that you know it took place, not one question was asked of this guy last night about that. Can you even believe it? It's the biggest story...
Wait, what was asked? What wasn't asked?
...from our country. Look at what's happened. And now you see it. And you see it better than ever before. And with all of the things that you know it took place, not one question was asked of this guy last night about that. Can you even believe it? It's the biggest story worldwide. It's a corrupt family. And these people didn't ask him one single question about it. It's incredible.
Boo! It's terrible. We spent $800 million of our campaign funds on a Russian October surprise, and it totally dropped a turd in our punch bowl. Because that's what they're complaining about. That's what he and Rudy and everybody and Don Jr. are all freaking out about. They've coordinated this for months. They were going to drop this. They think this Hunter Biden bomb was going to lay waste to the whole thing and corruption and blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Please fill the jar with your cheers. Thank you. Cheering is best. Cheering helps. So they were counting on this. You know that all those stories about where did the $800 million go? Well, I'm gonna go with at least half of it was spent keeping his properties from going into probate. But the other half went towards creating a fake hard drive with a bunch of fake emails and deep fake videos and pictures and crap. And there's a lot of production that goes into that. And here's the problem with it. Prove me wrong. I don't know if you guys have read the New York Post story. It's hilarious. And the interviews following it up with the dude who allegedly Hunter dropped off his laptop with a Beau Biden sticker on it and never picked it up. And on the hard drive was was an incriminating email that said, I'd like to introduce you to my dad, or thanks for introducing me to your dad, or promising to introduce me, like those kind of things. It's just so obvious. It's lame. But they were counting on it. They were really counting on this. This was supposed to land a couple of weeks, the blind dude, yes. Well, he's not blind. He just has a seeing problem that doesn't allow him to see at least one customer, which was the person who came in and dropped off this alleged laptop. 3 of them, but only one of them belonged to Biden. It's just great. You can tell how frustrated they are, because that's what we're watching. We're watching somebody angry that they set up a prank for you and you didn't fall for it. And they spent all goddamn day on it. Says true. He's drunk. What's happening? Who? For what? What are you talking about? You can't just lock up everybody. But keep leaning on that. I mean, he's leaning on the friggin' podium like he's at the bar.
I like this guy. Look at this. Will you stand up, please? Look at this guy. That's pretty good, huh? That's pretty good. Thank you, man. That's cool. That's great. Thank you. That's cool. For the last 47
And if anybody knows cool, it's the guy with his tie tucked into his pants.
years, Joe Biden has shipped away your jobs, shut down your factories, threw open your borders, and ravaged our cities while sacrificing American blood and treasure.
Which is really what they did, if you think about it.
In endless foreign wars in countries
true.
that you've never even heard of. And they're all coming back. You know that.
These people have never heard of Iraq. I'm going to go with a bunch of them have children that have served there.
They're all coming back.
Back to Saudi Arabia.
Except in certain areas, if you don't mind, where we kept the oil. We left some of our great soldiers. We kept the oil. We should have kept the oil in plenty of places when we went over there. We should have never been there. But if we're going to be there, remember I used to say for years, keep the oil. We didn't do
Yeah, they're not. I don't know why they're feeling
that.
it. That kind of egged. Listen to that.
Say for years, keep the oil. We didn't do that. He's a servant of the wealthy.
Jesus, that didn't go anywhere. Yeah, and why haven't they heard of Iraq and Afghanistan?
Donors and globalists and special interests.
Jews and nurses.
Who got
That's the worst, right? Oh, God, Jews and nurses. They did terrible.
rich, bleeding our country dry.
Nice to see you, too.
They sold you out, and I know this area very well, and you got sold out big.
Yeah, did they? Really? What's the big industry in Ocala that got sold out by globalists?
This whole state
The
got sold out. Every state did.
the whole state got sold out. Like the cruise industry, Disneyland, the fishing. What do they outsource your? What are you talking about?
They sold you out on trade, on borders, on jobs, on crime.
Borders. It's surrounded by water. Well, I mean, I can understand why you'd want to keep some of the people from Alabama out of the panhandle. Yeah.
Act of treachery after another. In 2016, Florida voted to fire this corrupt and look, this is the most corrupt group of people, okay? I've gotten, and you know, when I say drain the swamp, I used to think it was like a swamp this thick. It's like a real thick.
He has such a way with words. I mean, there's this kind of, I don't know what it is. It's a certain joie de vivre meets a glorious turn of phrase. That's like few people can take and analogize so quickly on the fly. Like,
It's very thick.
oh, thanks. You know what else is very thick? Yeah, you've been in for 4 years. What's the swamp made up of? What is it? Goldman Sachs people running the Treasury? Okay. It is, yeah, can't stop lying. He truly is the voice of a generation. Yeah.
So Florida voted to fire the
Anyways, shut up, guys.
corrupt and decrepit political establishment, and you elect.
They couldn't get reelected, dickhead. Biden didn't run last time. Arguably, if he had, you would have never been president. Dead serious. All the sexism that went into the attacks on Hillary and all the years, the decades of attacks on her just because of her relationship to Bill and how the Republicans felt about him. Like there was a machine built up to go after Hillary Clinton. There was not one built up to go after Biden, and they still can't build one. They've been building it since they thought he was going to be, you know, when he announced that he was going to run, or even in the chance that he was going to run, they've been building this stuff. There's a real strong chance that if Biden had just run as Obama's follow-up and carried on the policies, and they understood that he was going to strengthen the, the Affordable Care Act and the like, that Trump never would have been in office. Period. End of story.
an outsider as president, and we
Yeah, they prepared for Bernie, which didn't work because he's still running against Bernie in his head. We'll see a bunch of that, I have no doubt.
finally put America first.
Right, platitude. Does the platitude still work? Do you guys like platitudes?
About time. It's only been about 30 years.
You mean he just admitted that he stole America First from Reagan? Okay, we're done.
This week we
What he just did it. He literally. This is just stupid.
learned from newly released emails that Joe Biden has been blatantly lying about his involvement in his son's corrupt business dealings. The highest level. Yesterday, a news story showed that Hunter
Yesterday, a news story show. I swear to God, he sounds drunk. Thanks, 20 shot 20.
made a deal with a wealthy Chinese business magnate for $10 million.
A business magnet? Oh man. Yes, my hair is very feathery today. It looks like, because I had to, all right, we were doing sketches for Sexy Liberal 5. Tickets on sale now at sexyliberal.com. Go do it. VIP, meet and greet afterwards, all that stuff. And I had to wash my hair like 4 times because of all the gunk in it.
A year.
So now I look like the kid who works at the Froyo place in Stranger Things.
For introductions alone. He just wanted $10 million, introductions. He's going to introduce. This is a guy that got thrown out of the military, had no job. As soon as his father became vice president, he became a vacuum cleaner for the family. Okay?
Okay, he means vacuuming up money, I suppose.
Hunter also referred.
No, he didn't fix it. He just became a vacuum cleaner. He's just a vacuum cleaner. He became a blender for the whole family. Like, he became a Flowbee.
To another more lasting and lucrative arrangement, as he called it, with the same Chinese businessman that would be so much more interesting to me and my family. His father, okay? His father.
Yeah. Are you releasing all of your emails? Please say yes. Because these are fake. Let's be abundantly clear. The garbage they got off that hard drive from Rudy Giuliani and given to the Post and all that kind of stuff are forgeries. They just are. There's lots of them. They're forgeries. They link to nothing. They state dates that don't exist. They go to addresses that don't work. It's garbage. It's such a shitty hit job that they had to do it so close to the election so nobody would have a chance to look. But now everything's faster and nobody buys it after 2016. So everybody's like, what? Let me take a look at that first. Like, no time to look. Yeah, we'll decide if they're real, somewhere in mid-November after we can get a look at the metadata and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Deals were made after Biden spent his entire career letting China steal our jobs and raid our factories. And let me tell you something, if he ever won,
China would own this country.
Will own the United States, okay?
Okay, China's not owning any countries going forward because COVID put a huge dent in their economic outreach plans and their connectivity in Europe and here and Canada and Mexico and South America. Everybody's a little gun shy.
They will own it.
Why?
What's happening to China now, nobody's ever seen that. Nobody ever thought it was possible.
You mean COVID?
We've done so much better than them until they sent us the plague. And now we're coming back from the plague. We could have lost 2.2 million people and more.
If you'd done nothing. Thank you, Savannah Guthrie, for bringing that up yesterday, but then leaving it. You didn't come back to it. That was one. You guys know, I have been talking about this for ages. This is a constant refrain. We could have lost 2.2 if you did nothing at all.
And we lost much. We lost over 200,000 people. We shouldn't have lost a person. What they did to us, we will never forget. Just remember.
Yeah, just remember. Never forget that I just sold them the largest order of corn, the largest order of soybeans, and most of our beef. So we will never forget what China did to us. They could have stopped it. They didn't stop it. They could have stopped it, but they didn't stop it. They wanted to kill our citizens. So I, as your commander-in-chief, I sold them corn.
That we will never forget.
We'll never forget to drop off the corn they bought.
But this is all a matter of national security. The Bidens got rich while America got robbed.
A good phrase. Lock on it, stay it. It's bullshit, but don't screw it up.
And you know, I say it, and I sort of said it very timidly initially, and now you see this, they got the guy's laptop. They've got thousands of things. I mean, they're going through it. And I give great credit to the New York Post, for what
Yeah, nobody's reading the New York Post story, so he's got to name drop it.
they did. The New York Post. I don't know how many of you read the New York Post, but it's the oldest paper in the United States. I think it's like the 5th largest paper. It really is. You know, you talk about mainstream media. They went out and they did what these people should have been doing. These people do nothing.
They do nothing, these people. Boo! Kill them, eat them.
But I said it very timidly, and now I say it. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician, and he has been for a long time. And the Biden family is a criminal enterprise, and you know it, and so
they
do
know
I. In
it,
fact,
and everybody knows
they sort
it.
of make crooked Hillary Clinton look like amateur hour. You think about it. Yet all of this is being
Why are they focusing in
covered
on
up by the media and big.
crack? Oh. Yeah, right. He smoked crack and then he went to bed. Yeah, I love Brent Terhun's bit where he's like, because that's what you do when you smoke crack. You smoke crack and then you go to bed.
Tech. You saw that? You see that? You put a story out from the New York Post and they shut down her site. How about Kayleigh? Her site got shut down
Her
because
site got shut down?
she put out a story
The White House does not have a website?
from the New York Post. This is what's going on. So they talk about freedom of speech and freedom of the press. There's no freedom of the press. But watch what we do.
There's no freedom of the press? You've been arguing against the freedom of the press.
But the biggest thing we can do, November 3rd. That's the biggest thing we can do.
This is true. Everybody vote. Right, left of center, you know, fringe, whatever you want to do, you know, Antifa to QAnon. You're basically the same people. Vote.
Because I'm not just running against Biden. We're not just running against Joe Biden. We're running against the left-wing media, and we're running against big tech. And they all said, and I've heard this, and I kept
You're running, you mean people like Tim Apple?
hearing about the power of big tech, the power, and they were against us, as you know, 4 years ago.
Oh, were they? Is that why they let people buy ads supporting you in rubles?
But I won. I said, how could they be powerful? I won. I never did this before, and I won. How the hell are they powerful?
Right. How are they against me? They weren't.
But now they've gone totally crazy. They've done things now that they wouldn't even do, and they got caught. And there's great anger in
They got caught. They keep getting caught. I love how people get caught.
Congress, in the Senate. There's great anger because what they're doing is really bad.
Really bad. Great anger. Everybody, it's bad, okay? I don't know if you know this, okay, but this is my favorite hand gesture of his, the buzzing in on Jeopardy, but it's really bad, guys.
We gave them Section 230. It's protection. It protects them from everything. It shields them. So once you do that, the government is giving them something that no other industry has. So they no longer can say, oh, freedom of speech. That's not freedom of speech. They've been given protection, and they've abused that protection. And a lot of people are looking now at big, bad tech. But I did...
Big bad tech. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll delete your tweets if they come from bots.
Burumisia.
All right.
And I said, so they're so powerful, how did we win? Well, we
Because they helped you.
won for a lot of reasons. By the way, was that the greatest evening? Was that the...
Oh my God. Glory days. Was that not the greatest night of your life?
We're going to have an even bigger evening and an even better evening on November 3rd.
I'm planning one. Big bad tech.
Despite the fact that they're trying to get forever to count the ballots, you know, the ballots, right?
Oh, they're ballots. Now they're not ballots of voters, citizens of the United States. They're ballots, in quotes.
The fake
They're not even really ballots.
ballots. They're doing everything in their power to protect their chosen candidate, Sleepy Joe, and he is a sleepy guy.
Is he? Because he stayed after and answered every question to the people present, and you bugged out after an hour. And he got up and walked around. We never saw you walk out, sit down, get up, or leave. Were you wheeled in and wheeled out? What evidence that we have that you were able to walk to your seat on the town hall and walk back?
I watched last night. Did anybody watch last night? You watched both of them, right? Yeah.
No, a lot of people didn't.
But I just want to see,
Sure.
like, how's he doing? Not well.
That's it.
And remember this, they have nothing but this, and he's just a vehicle. Let's not kid ourselves.
He can't allow himself to even give any ground that Biden knows what he's talking about. So this is because the problem they have, and this you hear this argument a lot, and this is not an accident that he keeps doing this. The fear that they have with Biden is that a lot of people do respect him and do like him as a human being, even if they don't like AOC or whoever, or they have a bone to pick with the hyper left. They don't look at Biden that way. And so the only narrative that Trump has is that, you know, Biden's a sock puppet, which is, again, it's another example of Trump projection because he's a sock puppet himself.
Joe is shot,
Look at that. Hi.
okay? He's shot.
Is he? Is he shot? Because he's walking around and talking pretty well, you know. What was the line? And is it Every Which Way But Loose? He's killing him. He's moving pretty fast for a dead guy.
Vehicle, and he's got his vice president, who is further left than Crazy Bernie, okay? Kamala. Nobody treated
He did pronounce her name right for the first time.
Joe Biden worse than Kamala during the debates, right? Now,
During the Bates, remember when they had the Bates? Remember when the Bates happened, guys? Where were you? Did you watch all the Bates or just Norman?
she got beat up by other people. She got beat up badly. So badly that her polls dropped, and she went out very angry. And then he picked her. I said, this could be a very good thing. And then Mike Pence did a great job the other night, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, there was an issue with his fly, but no one remembers anything from that whole exchange except he had a fly on his head for 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
So I have
That and he interrupted a bunch.
nothing but disdain for what these people have done, and they have nothing but disdain for your values, and you know that. They flood your
Which values would those be?
communities with criminal aliens, drugs, crime, while living behind gated compounds.
Really? Really? So it's Democrats are the ones that live behind gated. Okay, is this supposed to be an Obama wall hit? Remember the leftover, like, we're building a wall, but they live behind walls? Because literally former presidents and celebrities and people who, you know, are a target of crazy people anyways. And so a certain amount of security protection should be taken for those people and their families that's slightly different from the average person. But almost everyone Trump knows lives behind a gate. You know who had a gated property that Trump visited a lot? Jeffrey Epstein.
They oppose school choice while sending their families to the best private schools.
Do they? Where's your kid go to school again?
They demonize the police while hiring private security. By the way,
What?
take a look at the way Joe Biden lives. You know, he's been in Congress, I guess, for almost 50 years. I say 47, but the 47 is getting a little old now, right? Almost 50 years, and
Yeah, it's been 3 years since June.
he's got houses, and he lives beautifully. You know, it's okay if you work and you get out it beautiful, but this guy's been a politician. A little strange, isn't it?
Really? You don't know where his money comes from? Here's an interesting thing. Go look at his taxes. He's given 20 years of taxes. He paid $300,000 in taxes last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, huh? It's just, who knows? I mean, honestly,
A little strange. They say
it's a little strange. Why does he have money and I'm broke?
he lives very well. They attack
He lives very well. The attack, you mean as a vice president?
the Second Amendment
As a former vice president?
while employing armed guards. They come against you with the guns. They want to take your guns away. You know,
What? So Biden has his own jackbooted security force that's snatching guns from people?
if I'm not here, I'm the only thing standing between you and your Second Amendment. That I
Really? That I could tell you. Really? Because wasn't Obama supposed to snatch up everybody's guns and that didn't happen?
can tell you. They support crippling lockdowns while their jobs remain totally exempt from being locked down. How about your governor in Michigan? She has that place locked down.
Your governor?
We just won the court case, though. No, the courts just ruled it unconstitutional what she's doing. The only one that was allowed to enjoy himself happened to be her husband, right? He was going to go boating and have a good time while everyone else was locked down.
Yeah. You can socially distance on a boat. What was that?
Somebody caught him. Who the hell caught him? That was
Yeah, caught him in a boat. What kind of, yeah, I agree. What kind of assholes go out in boats in the middle of a a
great thing, right? You know, and then we caught some people doing whatever. We'll find out what that was all about. And then she said it was my fault. It was my people that caught them.
No, it wasn't. They're not your people. You called the upper levels of the FBI scum. Those are the people who went after them.
It's Trump's fault. It's always Trump's fault. Can it ever be like Rick Gates' fault? I mean, it's always Trump's fault, Rick. By the way,
That was Matt Gaetz he just pointed at. He just pointed at Matt Gaetz, the Florida representative who adopted a boy from his neighborhood who still has a father who lives with him. Rick Gaetz, insofar as I know, is still on house arrest. Yeah, he called, and twice. Why can't they blame Rick Gaetz? And then said again, what, okay.
what did the governor do? Did he get up and make a great speech?
Yeah, tell him, Rick, how'd it go, Rick? Rick, tell him how the Governor Scott Tim, Governor Tom Florida.
Governor, good guy too, right over here. A lot of good people here.
A lot of good governors and people here, whoever. Who are
It's
you
time
pointing
we
at?
send a message
No fix at all. No fix at all. That's nuts.
to these shameless, wealthy, liberal hypocrites in Washington.
Yeah, the shameless, wealthy, liberal hypocrites. Spoken like a dude who's having trouble paying for his golf courses.
In D.C. and Silicon Valley. Do you see that Silicon Valley and these guys are 99% behind the Democrats, okay? What's that all about?
That's not an actual statistic at all. That's like somebody, that's That's just a phrase. That's a turn of phrase. Somebody went, these guys are 99% behind Democrats. They're not actually 90. There aren't 100 of them. They didn't ask them all, and one of them went, I like Trump. It doesn't work that way. You're just making that shit up. It's probably 86% maybe. And it might grow a little as he attacks them in the sovereignty of what they do on their platforms. But if the 1% that's for you is Zuckerberg, which it clearly looks like it is, then what's on the other side of that? MySpace?
What's that all about?
It's something you made up in your tiny little mind with your tiny little hands.
The 99,
Thanks,
not even
Lenwood.
90. I'd like to say 90, right? 99. Well, one of the reasons I don't call them, and I don't need their money, and I don't want their money, you know, that helps. It really helps. Let me tell you, if I call them, say, do me a favor, send money, every one of them would send money. I don't like
Well, then they're not behind you.
making those calls. Because when you make those calls, it's hard to say no. Just on a human basis, it's very hard to say no. They call and they ask for a little thing like how to make an extra $5 billion. I don't make those calls. You know, you read where they have a lot of money for.
Really? So you're turning down Sheldon Adelson's $75 million he just dumped in there?
And that's because everyone's calling everybody. We're going to win, and when we win, this is this, and this is. That's why they raise money. I could raise much more money. President, every call I make.
Oh, okay. So this is the there's a reason I'm broke section of the whole thing.
Every single guy.
Since he's not going to be financing his campaign, and they're shitting the bed money-wise.
Even if they hated me, they'd all contribute. But, Rick, you understand it. I don't want to make those calls. I don't want to make
Rick again.
those calls, right? Huh? Yeah, I know. Where is Rick? He's here.
Oh, yeah. He's looking. They're like, that's Matt. That's Matt. And they're like, yeah, I know. Where is Rick? I was pointing at Rick just a second ago. He was totally standing right there. Great. So it's not that he looked at Matt Gaetz and said Rick Gaetz. It's that he's seeing a phantom Rick Gaetz someplace.
Where's Rick? Where is Rick? Oh, you
I don't know. Maybe he's with Hunter, dipshit.
there. Good. So I just want to thank everybody, and we do have some special people.
Like this dude up here. He's like, is he? I think he just pointed at whoever.
Matt, stand up. Come here. I want to
There he is, Matt.
tell something. This
Matt, I need to fix this. Can you come out and kiss my ass for a second so they know that I...
guy, Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, now we're going to fix it. Christ almighty. This is embarrassing. So now this is the process where he fixes this shit.
So
Matt, I knew you were Matt. I knew your name was Matt. I was just kidding with the Matt thing.
Matt's been another one of our stars. We're going to introduce some of our congressmen and women later, but he's done some special job. How are we doing in Florida, Matt? Huh? Good?
I'm sorry. I thought my name was Rick.
So, you know, the polls came out today, and they're very good. They don't report them. They don't report them. They do report them if they were bad, but we're not going to have any bad. We're going to have a big day. Make sure you work very hard, Matt, and I'll see you in a second. On Election Day, you can send a message.
Jesus, this is such, like, that was such a pitiful cleanup. I mean, do you think he's going to gripe about this at the next one? You think the next time he does one of these events, he's going to go, they thought I meant Rick Gaetz. Rick Gaetz was Rick. There's another Rick Gaetz. You guys don't know. Fake news.
That the fake news media and the big tech censors, because that's what they are, the big censors, and we're going to send them back. We're going to clean out the
We're going to censor them back.
Washington swamp. I never knew it was this deep, but we're cleaning out
Excuse me, it's not deep. It's thick, according to your last
the
measurement.
Washington swamp. We're going to show them the American people are in charge by delivering Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, a thundering defeat like they haven't seen before. Like they haven't seen before.
Yeah, say like they haven't seen before a couple more times. I mean, it's really landing well.
If I don't sound like a typical Washington
Oh, this is he's back on the teleprompter.
politician, it's because I'm not a politician. Sorry.
Yes, you are. You're president of the United States. You've been president for almost 4 years. If you're not a politician now, then you're not doing the job right.
And if I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder than anyone has ever fought before.
Okay, I mean, I know what he's trying to say there, but this is such lazy writing. The biggest problem is, like, if I don't if I don't play by the rules of the Washington, I don't give a shit about whether or not he goes to dinner with senators or any of that kind of stuff, or even if he's a little loose with comedy at times. Obviously, Lyndon Johnson was certainly that way, right? And got some stuff done. My problem is when he breaks the actual rules, the actual laws. Shit like the Hatch Act and money laundering.
This is the most important election in the history of our country.
Now, I used to say it was the last one, but it's totally the next one.
And, I used to say it all the time. I'd say, well, this is important, but the last. And I'm sort of like debating which is more important.
Jesus Christ. Stick to it, man. Tell them it's the most important one because you're trying to motivate your voters. Nobody gives a shit what you actually think. That's the stupid part of this. Nobody cares about the back and forth in your own brain. This is the argument he's showing you, the argument he had with staff. That's what you're watching. That they said, you got to go out there and tell them it's the most important. But I told them the old one was more important. Yeah, but it's obviously much more important that you lock in a win to stay in and finish what you're doing. I mean, yeah, but I told him the other one was.
Which is more important? Rick Grinnell, tell me which is more important, Rick. Rick Grinnell, by the way, has done a great job.
Oh, shit. So he looked over, saw Matt Gaetz and Rick Grinnell, and made Rick Gaetz out of it. That's what happened. He needed to find a Rick quickly. But what about the Rick Gaetz he found in the front, in the crowd he goes nowhere near?
You know who he is?
Yeah, we know who he is. Do you know who he is? Do you know his actual name? Do you know what he's actually doing there?
What a great job he's done.
It's okay.
He's coming with us, I'll tell you that. But nobody's done the job.
What do you mean, to the Caymans? What do you mean he's coming with you?
We've done. Nobody's done the job that we've done, and we've done it with all that opposition. Biden has made a corrupt bargain.
Everybody just messing with me the whole time.
In exchange for his party's nomination, and he shouldn't have the nomination. I said this before.
Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to be losing to this guy. I should be technically losing to Bernie right now.
Pocahontas.
Uh-huh. If she'd have just dropped out, like, he's so pissed. He is so pissed at Elizabeth Warren for getting out when she did. He's mad. This grinds. Of all the things that he gets pissed of when he wakes up angry or can't sleep at night, what's really grinding him is the fact that he thinks Elizabeth Warren got out and therefore handed it to Joe Biden, and damn it, it screwed with our whole plan. And we had paid all these people to support Warren and Sanders to puff them up and then collapse it after they'd won, and then shit.
Elizabeth Warren should have gracefully, she was defeated. She shouldn't have stayed Super Tuesday. If she would have left, she didn't even have to endorse anybody. If she would have left, crazy Bernie.
No, the other way around, asshole. He thinks you would have...
100% would have gotten, because he would have gotten most of her votes. He only needed a few.
Good God.
It was really amazing. And he would have had... This guy is the greatest loser of all time. There's no better loser. He's so nice about it. It happened to him twice now, right? So she stayed. Biden got it.
These people are just sitting, listening to this rabble.
We have a little bigger base, but he's got a base with zero enthusiasm. Zero. The only enthusiasm
Biden's got a bigger base, but zero enthusiasm. You know what they're enthused about? Go look at the lines that people are standing in to vote. That's enthusiasm. Going to these, whining jack-off fests that he has with these assholes who think that, you know, to a person, this is just a QAnon gathering in all these places. You want to see enthusiasm? Go look at the lines for early voting. Go look at the turnout for early voting. Go look at the number of people mailing in their vote already. Look at the number of people who voted before you got your stupid fake New York Post story out.
Is to beat us. And you know what? That's called negative enthusiasm. Typically, it never wins. We'll find out.
Tell us, okay, sorry, run that by me again. What's your whole thing? Negative enthusiasm typically does not win.
Enthusiasm, zero. So we have a little bigger base, but he's got a base with zero enthusiasm, zero. The only enthusiasm they have is to beat us. And you know what? That's called negative enthusiasm. Typically, it never wins. We'll find out. It better not win, okay? It better not.
Well, you're not addressing the people who hate you, who are going to vote for Biden because they hate you. If that's what you're talking about, and that's what he's talking about. None of those people, all these people are sycophants, except the ones that are, you know, paid to be there, who will probably be voting for Biden to ease their conscience.
Not win, Matt.
I got paid to do like 4 friggin' Trump Florida rallies, so I voted for Biden so I didn't feel like shit.
Biden has handed control to the socialists, Marxists, and far-left lunatics. If he wins, the radical left will be running this country, and they're
It's so true.
addicted to power, and God help us if they ever get it, because we will never have the same country again. We never will. We never will.
No, things will go back to what they were like during the Clinton years. Holy shit.
You know, I used to talk about Venezuela. Boy, that is an amazing amount of people back there.
What was I going to say again? Shit.
That's an amazing amount of people.
You're starting to lose them. So that's quite a crowd, isn't it, tonight? But you guys, I don't have to tell you. It's great to be back in wherever the fuck I am.
Turn the camera. Can you show the group of people? That is unbelievable.
Turn it around. I'm running out of shit. I was just about to go on a riff about Venezuela. What the hell?
That goes back a long way.
We've done this twice
That's
already.
Unbelievable.
Are we doubling back?
Thank you. That's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. I wish we had the cameras pushed back further. I wish.
Why do you have to? You don't want to watch them, see them. You don't want them to see you take a shit? Is that what's happening? Are you just filling your diaper?
The cameras were in the back. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's a little thin there compared to what it was. Now, when we looked a second ago, like before, look at this patch up here.
Thank
There's
you.
I'm starting to see some asphalt. Some people have already bailed. Yeah, bye. Oh, that's the line for the porta potties. They're all facing that way. They're all. How do we do it? This way. Where am I going? That way. There. I don't want to point at myself. They're all going this direction. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Hold on. Fire.
Why don't you drive them crazy? Just
drive them crazy.
12 more years, right? They want to punish the middle class, expand every last.
Why is he saying red wave? Is that something the right says? Well, they're saying there's a blue wave and a blue tsunami, so now they're saying red.
Trace of traditional values and replace the American dream with the socialist nightmare. That's what it's going to be.
So it's going to be.
You take a look at what's happened with some of these countries, and look at Venezuela. 18 years ago, 17 years ago.
Oh, the teleprompter took a crap or something, or he wanted them to roll back to it, so he had to distract until they could do it, and he could.
It's one of the richest countries, incredible, tremendous wealth, tremendous natural resources. Now they don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have medicine. We get them whatever we can.
They don't have roofs, they don't have floors.
but we're working hard. Watch what happens with Venezuela. Watch what happens with Cuba. Watch what happens with plenty of places that are in trouble, because we have to do that. We have to take care of people. But look at what's happened to Venezuela.
What was that? Did that make any sense to anybody? This is, I mean, he just brain farted out into the middle of a field. What you just saw was the linguistic version of him wandering off the tarmac away from the plane. Look at what's happened and happening to we have to take care of people, but we have to take care of people is the line he uses about you can't give health care to people who are coming into the country and people are going to leave Venezuela. Like, I can see, we've seen this shit so many times. We know where the thought thread is going, but it's just it's a car wreck.
Watch what happens with Cuba. Watch what happens.
Hold on, listen.
They don't have food. They don't have medicine. We get them whatever we can, but we're working hard. Watch what happens with Venezuela. Watch what happens with Cuba. Watch what happens with plenty of places that are in trouble, because we have to do that. We have to take care of people. But look at what's happened to Venezuela. And don't kid yourself. I used to say, well, that could never happen. When you look at the ideology that we're talking about now, it's the exact same ideology.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I mean, Biden is not running on nationalizing the oil industry.
It's the exact same ideology.
No, it isn't.
But it's never going to happen to us, because we're going to have a big, big victory over the next 18 days. They want to turn America into a communist country or
and now he said the C word.
A socialist country. You know, it didn't used to be I'd use the word communist, but now we talk about our country will never be a socialist nation.
Okay, this is when it goes. You know, I used to say the phrase was the idea. Biden's not right of center. I suppose that depends on what your right is or what your center is. Right of center.
And now we have to say a socialist or a communist nation, because that's the next step. We're not going
to... Honestly, this is what, what we are watching is Stephen Miller and whoever else on his staff that's putting the speeches together, working with him, having his little sit-down meetings while he won't get off his goddamn phone, and he's eating a fish delight and dropping shit all over the floor of Air Force One, and they're going through the meaning of each pieces and what they want to hit, because the voters in this area are very concerned about socialism and communism in Cuba, socialism in Venezuela. You have to differentiate. You're talking to specific crowds. This is super important. And then he doesn't, you're just seeing him not be able to grasp any of it. Because honest to God, that's what this is. We're watching the little scene play out. Just like when he was like, somebody said, why don't we just let it ride? Why don't we just let it ride through the COVID, just let it go and see what happens? Somebody said that. We later found out, hi, Susie. We later found out that somebody was him. And what we were watching was him playing out his exchange with Fauci and Birx in the room during task force meetings, and them pushing back and going, what are you, insane? That's what's happening right here.
Our country will never be a socialist nation. And now we have to say a socialist or a communist nation, because that's the next step. We're not going to let it happen and ruin the lives of Hispanic Americans and all of
Hispanic.
Step. We're not going to let it happen and ruin the lives of Hispanic Americans and all Americans. We're not letting it happen. We're going to have a big victory. And that'll be the end of it. Because
yeah, that'll be that. I mean,
you know what? One more defeat and they're going to accept it. You know, I talk about unity. Somebody asked me a question recently about unity.
Did they?
When do you think the country will come together? It was coming together. I was getting calls from politicians that nobody would have thought on the other side.
Yeah. But they, you know, these secret calls that they called you, but you won't say who, but they were calling you during the impeachment, apparently, going, hey, I can't wait to make a deal.
And they were saying, I think it's time. I think it's time. We had the greatest employment numbers in history.
So good.
We had the greatest. We're up to 160 million people. We had the greatest numbers. Hispanic.
We also have a much larger population now. What's the percentage? The reason he uses that number, 160 million, is because that if you don't know that the population has grown since the 50s, for example, then that number sounds like every child, over the age of 3 is employed with 2 jobs.
American, African American, Asian American, women. We had the greatest numbers.
And then what happened? All I did was, if I hadn't just scuttled the pandemic response team and the COPS program 2 years ago, we would have been able to handle this pandemic. We would have been able to, we would have gotten rid of Chauvin, the cop that killed George Floyd, more than likely, and none of this would ever happened, and you would have skated into re-election even though you're an asshole. But what happened? What actually happened? What was the downturn? Was it this year? Was it April that screwed up the Trump years? Was it his first term ruined by COVID arriving? Well, we know that the recession started in February, but we'll put that aside. The greatest economic picture in the world, and it was scuttled by something that he had literally an office in the White House meant to handle this problem, and then there was an office in the White House meant to handle, and a program meant to handle bad cops who would, result in things like George Floyd's killing. And he got rid of them because Obama started both of them, and he just hated anything that was Obama. And if he'd have just let it go on autopilot, if he'd have just if he hadn't done that, if he hadn't scuttled the pandemic response team, there would have been a heads up in November, and 100,000 lives would easily have been saved. And we would have had a plan in place that structurally would have kicked into gear. But he had to get rid of it because it had Obama's name on it. So it wasn't that the China virus came in and made him shut down the economy. It's that his own ego and his own shitty leadership skills that are essentially non-existent caused him to make decisions 2 years ago that wrecked everything 2 years later. This is a dude who did not believe the check engine light came on, the brake warning light came on, and he decided to blow it off. And now he's blaming the bump in the road for why the wheels fell off and you're skidding into a ditch.
Young people with a diploma from high school.
With a diploma from high school?
Without a high school diploma, with a PhD from MIT.
Hold on.
Diploma from.
Listen to this.
Numbers. Young people with a diploma from high school, without a high school diploma, with a PhD from MIT. Every single group was having the best numbers. We had the greatest economic recovery. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world.
Oh, the greatest economic recovery. You're jumping ahead to the 10 million jobs thing.
And then we got hit.
He's overlapping.
By the plague from China. But I'll tell you, and then we saved millions of lives, and we're
by just having a functioning government.
Building at a level that nobody can even believe.
No one believes it because it's not true, and you keep talking about it, but everyone's going, why do you keep saying that? It's stupid.
But we were coming together, and I told the person, I said, the thing that's going to bring our country together is success. And it was happening. And until that artificial, horrible situation.
Artificial? Okay, so it was a bioweapon. It wasn't just a disease that broke out in China and then got organically crossed borders and spread like a contagion does. It was artificial. It was a bioweapon engineered by China. Just ask Rick James over on the left, whoever. Yeah, Sam Gaetz, John Grinnell, General Grinnell. Ask any of them. It was created by the Chinese to attack us. They could have stopped it. We shouldn't lose one life. But it got out, and this artificial thing made us shut down our perfectly good economy, even though the recession started in February. And we know this. This is, it's not even an argument. This artificial thing, this bioweapon attack. China attacked us. Greatest bioweapon attack in the history of America. And I just sold them a bunch of corn.
Came in, it was happening. It was happening like never before.
Baby, it was happening like never before.
And had that not happened, you would have seen great unity. And by the way,
yes, Vegas, thank you.
the last administration had no unity. Look at
I don't think it's at HalSparks, but the picture's there, so you can take a picture of that little thing with your phone, that little icon.
St. Louis, look at Henderson, look at Ferguson, look at all of the different, look at Oakland, look at Baltimore, look at the things that were happening. People forget. It was a mess. It was a total mess.
You mean all the places that you wanted to go into mixed with the fact that Ferguson happened during the Obama administration, and they brought together local and federal officials and worked to remedy the situation, and the Justice Department looked into it. Normal stuff. Ferguson isn't still on fire.
Yes. And then you look at H1N1 that Biden always calls N1H1. I said, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He what does he call it? Does he call it?
Russia.
Oh, where
To
is
me,
it?
Corona means Italy.
I see. So he screws up words. That's what we're gonna. He inverts H1N1 in one speech, insofar as I know, and we're supposed to hold that against him forever.
Michigan gave us Motang.
Okay.
Don't.
That's so funny.
We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges.
Okay.
Do it, Joe. He always can't do it. He can't do it. Did you see?
Really? He can't do it. Is that one of the things where you invert it and you just can't seem to stop?
The Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese.
Okay. So is that what we're going for right now?
Last night he had to take out the piece of paper, 200 billion. It's not that big a deal to 200. Let's see. I'm not allowed to take out paper.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. It's a town hall. Not at a debate. Dummy.
Right? Am I
Yes.
allowed to take out and start reading them to you?
Yes. You've brought out stuff at interviews before.
Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing. He rips out that paper. You know why he does that? Because it's not working quite too well. Joe Biden and the Democrat socialists will kill your jobs, dismantle your police departments, dissolve your borders. By the way, our border now is the strongest it's ever been, 400 miles.
400 miles. 400 miles. It was at 500, then it went down to 380. Now it's at 400.
And Mexico is paying for the wall, by the way. They like to say Mexico's, we get the wall. We're up to almost 400 million. It's almost complete. It'll be complete very soon.
Almost 400 million miles?
And really, that's why we have such good numbers now, the wall.
Yeah, it's because it's 400 million miles long.
They used to say, we don't want a wall, we want drones. Oh, that's great. You can watch people pour into our country. Right? But we got the wall done. And I'll tell you, and Matt and these guys, they really help.
Matt, which Matt? Matt Schlapp? Who's there? Rick Gaetz?
A lot. They were warriors.
He keeps name checking Matt because he screwed up so bad.
They helped a lot. That was not easy. That was
Right,
not
Rick?
easy. And Ron, that's right, we forgot. Ron was a congressman. He came to me and said, sir, I'd like to run for governor. I said, well, I could, understand that, but you got a long way to go. And he said, no, I'd like your endorsement if we have your endorsement. I said, look, Ron, let's think about it. Anyway, he's a great guy. Harvard, Yale, smart. I said, all right, Ron, I'm going to endorse you. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? Boom, I pressed it. He went from 3 to 71 in one day. And then he had an impossible person to beat. This guy, how's he doing, by the way? How's his opponent doing? He was going to be the future of the Democrat Party, his opponent. I don't think he's doing too well, right? No, not doing too well. Watch, they'll resurrect him. The fake news will say, it's incredible what's happened. He's wonderful. Nah, if he were a Republican, they wouldn't be doing it, but that's okay.
You're kidding, right? I mean, I don't know why the camera just jerked to the left. That's not on me. But you do realize the media helped resurrect you after the Access Hollywood tape. I mean, you wouldn't be in this position if Morning Joe hadn't given you free, contribution in kinds, multiple, yeah? Is that how you phrase it? Multiple contributions in kind. That would be it. It's not like attorneys general, right? Contributions in kind to your campaign by letting you make these pajama phone calls every morning.
But Ron's been a great governor. It was an honor to be with him and endorse him. He's done a fantastic job. The only one better is his great first lady. I like her even better than Ron. But they'll release criminal aliens, raise your taxes, confiscate your guns 100%.
100%. All guns, done. It's not that they want, to close the gun show loophole or stop straw purchases or stop, people from having 30-round magazines duct taped together as they walk towards a schoolyard, being able to ask a cop be able to go, excuse me, where are you headed with that? Without getting a lawsuit from the NRA or some other group. No. It's that they want to take 100% of your guns.
Destroy your suburbs. They talk about suburban women. Do they like...
Oh, my God, we're going into the suburban.
Donald Trump. Yeah, they like Donald Trump. You know why? Because they want safety and security.
They don't want poor people near them.
Right? They want...
Poor people are dangerous and gross.
Safety and security. And they don't want low-income housing built next to their beautiful suburban dream. No, we got rid of it. They had a regulation, all the women standing up over there, they had a regulation that would have destroyed our suburbs.
Really? It's been around since the 60s.
It would have destroyed our American dream. And they came to me, Ben Carson, a lot of good people. They said, sir, it's very tough to terminate it, but why don't we just amend it? I said, I don't want to amend it. What does amend it mean? Make it a little bit better for us, or a little bit? I said, I don't want it amended. I want that regulation terminated. And they terminated the regulation, and nobody can believe it. And they want to drive God from the public square.
So true. And by God, I mean me.
To defend our Constitution from this madness, I proudly nominated Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court.
Now this is the newest part of the whole speech. So tired. Fill that seat. Right.
No, don't worry. We'll fill that seat.
No, don't worry about it. You don't have to yell at it.
She's done fantastically well. People can't even believe it. What a breath of fresh air, right? Isn't it nice?
Isn't it nice?
It's fantastic. You know what got me her professor, one of her professors, longtime professor, very highly respected all over the legal world, had many, many, many years of students. He said, the single greatest student he's ever had was Amy. And that was pretty good. That meant something to me, right? That meant something to me. It is nice. You're not allowed to discriminate, but I do like smart people on the Supreme Court. Right? Now,
okay, you're not allowed to discriminate, but I do like smart people on the Supreme Court. But how is that discriminating? Are we going with the whole I couldn't put one of you dumbasses on the court, and I'd love to put one of you idiots there, but I got to pick a smart person, and she's good.
Wants many people on the Supreme Court. He doesn't want to say. He said, "I'll tell you after the election." Mm-hmm. What they want to do to the court will be a disaster. And by the way, I put out a list of people. It's probably one of
right. It's manipulative and dangerous.
Reasons I got elected, but now we increased it by 20 great people that believe in a thing called the Constitution of the United States. But I put out
quote any of it.
A list so that when we choose. I said, I will only take somebody from that list.
You mean the Federalist Society's list that they gave you?
And they're incredible scholars and great at what they do.
Yeah, how did you find them? How did you compile that list?
I said, Biden has to do that. Not just about packing. Is he going to pack? Got to know, who is he going to appoint?
Is he gonna pack?
Because, you know, the AOCs of the world, AOC plus 3, the AOCs of the world.
AOC plus 3.
Omar.
Squad bad.
Omar. I think we're going to win. You know what? I think we're going to win Minnesota because of Omar.
What is ad time on here? Allows, if you do that, you basically allow me to play an ad. It runs a break during the show like this to help me raise, to support the show,
Think of it. She hates our country. She hates our country. She comes from a place that doesn't even have a government. And then she comes here. She tells us how to run our country, and she hates our country. And
she lives here. She's a naturalized citizen, I think, at this point, right? I don't know what her status is, but either way, she became a citizen. It's actually her country as well.
We're going to win Minnesota, first time since 1972. You imagine? Hasn't been won by a Republican, but we're doing very well there. Thank you.
Nope.
Very much, Omar. Ilhan Omar. Thank you very much. She's a real
beaut.
She's a wonderful person.
You can't say there's a real beauty because she's a woman and she's attractive.
No, we got people. It's not even thinkable. It used to be that Congress, they loved Israel. Today, it's almost like the opposite. It's crazy. What they've done to Israel is incredible. Not the Senate, in all fairness, but if you look at the House with Pelosi and these people, it's like they hate Israel. And they believe in Omar, who came in here, married her brother or something, and came in illegally. Come on, Justice. Let's go, Justice. Department of Justice.
Come on, Justice. Department of Justice. Do something. Take those Inquirer stories that we've been pushing really hard and make law based on them.
Democrats will pack the court with radical left judges who will shred our Second Amendment.
Who will shred? They will shred them? What? What happened? Hold on.
Department of Justice. Democrats will pack the court with radical left judges who will shred our Second Amendment.
Who shred? Oh, it's an Irish thing.
Empower violent mobs and protect terrorists and criminals. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know that.
Biden's agenda would be a catastrophe for Florida seniors.
Really? Why is that?
Do we have any seniors in the room? No, I'm not a senior. Okay. I'm not a senior. Yes, I am.
This is adorable. This is called self-deprecate. I call it self-defecating humor because every time I have to make a joke about myself, I poop.
Especially for everyone from, I love the place, the Villages. I love the Villages. They fight.
Yeah, you have to.
For us. I read stories every day. They're out there. They're driving those beautiful golf carts, the nicest golf carts ever made. They got golf carts that are better than your car.
Yeah, rich people. Right.
We love the Villages, and we're with them all the way, too.
Yeah, we're with the uber-rich old people who don't need Social Security.
They've got spirit. They've got heart. For years, Biden tried to cut your Social Security. You know that. And your Medicare.
Nope.
Now Biden's pledging mass amnesty and free health care for illegal. Look.
Illegal.
Pledging mass amnesty and free health care for illegal. Look. He's got the.
Look. Look. Oh, that was a solid one.
Amnesty and free health care for illegal. Look. He's got the.
You could even hear somebody in his audience laughed at that. Wait, one more time.
Amnesty and free health care for illegal. Look, he's got the.
You hear that? He got some laughs. He got some laughs from going. Oh God.
Amnesty and free health care for illegal. Look, he's got the illegal immigrants coming in, and we all have
illegal immigrants.
heart, and we all want to take care of everybody. But when you say you can have free health care, you can have free education, you can have free. Millions of people are going to flood our country. We're not going to have a country left. So you just can't do it.
You can't have the.
All it is a magnet. Please come in. So
It's a magnet. Please come in.
we're sorry, but we will decimate Medicare and destroy your Social Security and destroy your country.
Well, yeah.
While I'm
We're saving
president,
that.
no one will touch your Medicare or your Social Security. To reduce the price of prescription drugs, as you probably have heard, and it's not
I'm sorry.
pleasant for me, I have taken on a thing called Big Pharma.
A big pharma.
They have unlimited money and, in a sense, unlimited power. They're the biggest lobbyist in the world. They spend more money than anybody else, I think, by far. Perhaps the lawyers spend more money. But Big Pharma, I signed the most favored nations rule, which...
Sports 7764. What's your opinion on immigration? I believe they should pass the comprehensive immigration bill that has been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk for the entirety of his time as Speaker.
Nobody can believe. Because, you know, last year, we're the only administration in 51 years that brought down the cost of prescription drugs. Do you know that? But
No. During your time in office, certain drugs which are used very frequently all entered at the same time because of the advancement that they were attached to in technology and medical science. They all became generic in the same year because of the time put on the limit put on that in the law. So he was president during the period when 4 or 5 major drugs all went generic. That's what happened.
not much.
Oh, hi. Look at that. Oh my gosh. A Dutch Brothers. I'm going to be awake all night. This is good times. Thanks, babe. Love you. Thanks. We got several drops out of this one. We got several sound bites out of this one. Good Lord.
Is this today?
Yeah, this is today. No, you don't need to see us. This is today. Run screaming. Shut the door. Protect yourself.
1%. I'm not proud of that. 1%, but at least it's something. But the big deal is other countries are paying a tiny fraction of what we pay for the same exact drug.
Because they have single payer or government health care entirely. And they use that ability and that element of their healthcare system to purchase drugs in bulk, and it does not violate their constitutions to be able to do that.
The same pill,
Hi, Wally World.
10 cents versus $2.50.
Yeah, why? Why? Ask those people why. Why do you think Germany or the UK pays less, or Canada? Haha! Since that's where Florida's going to be buying their drugs from. Why? All right.
And we pay by far more than anybody, and it's us, because they view us as suckers.
And it's us?
So
Was he going to go, it's us or it sucks? And then he just slurred it?
pay by far more than anybody, and it's us, because they view us as suckers. So I
So us and suckers came together into it's us.
said to Big Pharma, you're going to either do these things and get rid of the middlemen and all of the things that we do. You know,
People are selfieing behind him.
I'll bet you Hunter Biden is a middleman. You know that? I'm just... Right?
Yeah, in many ways, actually. He's an investment manager. So he manages your investment. That's what his job was at Rosemont Seneca. That's what everybody who works at Rosemont Seneca does. They are investment managers. You give them your money. They make sure it's spent where it's supposed to be spent, and then they take a piece of your profits for that guarantee.
I'm just thinking. Now, I don't know. You know, the middleman with drugs, the middleman. It's called the middleman. They never say
The middleman.
the middleman or woman. They're not politically correct. They don't care. They make so much money. These are the richest people. I don't even know who the hell they are. I'll bet.
Because you're making this up out of whole cloth.
That Hunter Biden has a piece of that action. The middlemen. We're getting rid of the middlemen. We're giving the governors the right, and your governor wanted it, the first one, to go to Canada, where the same exact drug costs 50%. They're going to buy in Florida until the favored nations kicks in, which will be even better. They're going to buy prescription drugs from Canada at
Why does Canada have cheap drugs?
50% off. And
Why does Canada pay half what we're paying in drug prices?
get the benefit. Think
Why
of
would you do that? And you know who else would get the benefit? Canadian drug companies.
Because we have a long-time system that's corrupt, like so many other things, and hard to break, so we're breaking it by letting them go and buy. And we have various states, but Florida is going to be one of them. You're going to go.
That made sense. What shit was that? Is that a new phrase? Should we all learn that one? Do we need to commit that one to memory?
So we're breaking it. Long-time system that's corrupt, like so many other things, and hard to break, so we're breaking it by letting them go and buy. And we have various states, but Florida is going to be one of them. You're going to go, you're going to buy them for much less. But ultimately, that'll stop, because the greatest is favored nation. So you will have, and you will be paying, the lowest price. We're going to match the lowest price anywhere in the world. You're the biggest buyer. And
No, favored nations would mean everybody's paying the same price. It's not you get to find the lowest price and drive it down to the lowest price. That's just dumb. It means if Germany's paying 10 cents, France is paying 50 cents, and UK is paying 75 cents, and we're paying $1.50, somewhere around 60 cents a pill, everybody's going to be paying it. So Germany's going to be paying a lot more, France is going to be paying a little more, UK will save some more money, and we'll save a lot of money, in theory. Now, his executive order didn't create that system. It created a commission to find out why we're not paying favored nations and how we can solve it. Well, the way we can solve it is single payer system, which is what Biden is running on.
that's what it's going to be. Plus, we capped insulin costs for Medicare plans at less than $35 a month. It was much, much higher, many times higher. My people did a great job in that. You know, insulin was driving people out of business, and people were dying because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't do it. And every senior on Medicare will soon be receiving $200 to help with the cost of your medicines, and we got that approved, too. We got
You mean a coupon?
that approved. Nobody has done what I've done for seniors, that I can tell you. We have a lot
Really? Not the people who actually created Social Security and all the people who've kept it solvent ever since?
of great plans, too.
Hi, Cassie.
Biden had 47 years to do what I did, but he's owned by the special interest, and he's owned by the drug companies. He's never going to do this stuff. He can't do it. I don't need their money. I don't want their money.
He's owned by the drug companies?
I never asked for their money. Who the hell knows? Maybe they gave me something along the line.
Uh-huh.
Sir, you received $400 from Pfizer 7 years ago. But you know what? I couldn't care less. I'm here to do a job. Then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to hopefully you're going to say I was a great president, but that's going to be in
Yeah.
4 years.
Nope.
That'll be in
I'm going to leave, and hopefully you'll say I was a great president. This is him.
4 years.
This is him going, this is not happening. Yeah, he owns stock in Regeneron.
Thank you.
It's a blended energy drink that Dutch Brothers makes. Oh yeah, Facing the Crowd, that one? Yeah, Larry Lonesome Rhodes. It's totally Trump. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Under my leadership, we're delivering a safe vaccine and a rapid recovery. We're doing things with FDA. They're giving us approvals in weeks as opposed to years. It's been incredible. If you vote for me, prosperity will surge, normal life. That's all we want. We want normal life.
Yeah, again, this is him trying to steal one of the areas where they've, most of the polls have been doing show that part of Biden's appeal is normalcy. The problem is they're selling this, they're throwing this in as a statement. We just want to go back to normal life. They think they can borrow that and turn it into their phrase. The problem is People aren't looking for normal life like a brand. They're looking for normal life like an experience. And they can just tell looking at this jackass the entire time he's speaking that in no way is there anything normal about him.
Right? Normal. We don't want anything. We want to be where we were 7 months ago.
That's where we were, right in the middle of a recession actually starting. That's where we want to be. We want to be back 7 months ago. 7. It's October. 7 months ago. Don't you all wish we could go back to the end of March, right as we're about to start the lockdown? What?
And
Hi, TLK Knitting.
next year will be one of the best and greatest years in the history of our country. That's what's
Yes, Biden-Harris 2020.
happening economically, and that's going to lead to other things. This election is a choice between a Trump recovery and a Biden depression. He gets in, they're going to quadruple your taxes, they're going to take away all of the benefits that I gave you, which turned out to be a lot.
A lot.
You add energy, and it's probably $7,000 or $8,000. Think of that, $7,000 or $8,000 a year. Did you ever
Yeah, all the money you saved on gas when you weren't driving during the pandemic.
see yourself with
You know what? If you need to make, nobody's going to make money in a pandemic like I am. Nobody's going to get that pandemic dividend under Biden.
$2 gasoline? Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that happening? How about
Yeah, asshole. That's because no one's going anywhere. Because they were overproducing anyways, and even it was an order of magnitude higher because everybody stopped traveling. There was no place to go.
less than $2? And at the same time, we are now energy independent, and we have millions and millions of people working on energy. Millions of people. Millions of people. Now,
So why don't you open up the Gulf states for drilling then? If we need all that oil, and it's a lot of jobs, why are you letting Florida, South Carolina, and North Carolina not have oil rigs off their coasts? Why'd you bend over on that?
very proud of it. We are independent. We don't have to be in the Middle East. We don't have to be. We're there to protect Israel. We're there to help others. But we don't need it anymore. We used to need it. We don't need it anymore because of what we've done. And by the way, the fracking, this guy, he goes around talking about fracking all the time. I mean, think about it. You're going to frack. There will be, under no circumstances, there will be no fracking. Then he gets it. He goes to Pennsylvania, and I love Pennsylvania. And he says, oh, wow, they have a lot of jobs here, about 1 million jobs fracking, right? He goes, I got a problem. So he goes, all right, who the hell cares? I've been saying this for 1.5 years, no fracking. Now he gets up, yeah, we'll let you frack, absolutely. We never said that. And the fake news doesn't ever even ask the question.
Ask what question? He didn't say that.
No, I mean, they don't even ask.
Just because Bernie said something and Biden said something, and Bernie and Biden both are older gentlemen with white hair, and everyone else can tell the difference, and you can't, doesn't mean that the press has to ask special questions to explain reality to you.
Question. It is true.
No, I agree. Ruby says, I bet you has no idea what fracking actually is. I agree. I think he knows it has something to do with drilling.
They don't even ask the question. I mean, this guy goes through a thing last night with Stephanopoulos. I like George, but he did me 2 weeks ago. He did an interview with me, and it was nasty, right? It was nasty. Last night, it was like a sleeper. Everyone's falling asleep. Why don't they ask him the fact that why for 1.5 years did he say there's no fracking?
He didn't.
And then the day he gets the nomination, he goes into Pennsylvania. He knows nothing about Pennsylvania, by the way.
Tell him all about it. Tell us, guy, just don't tell us that you know about Pennsylvania. Explain to us the importance of Pennsylvania's fracking industry, how it's distributed, in what counties and what section of the state, and the impact it has on the aquifers and the surrounding states.
You know, he likes to say, I was born in Pennsylvania. That's it. And then they left. Maybe they didn't like it. They didn't like it. I love you too. Look at her. She's. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very nice. Thank you. But no, but why don't they ask him that? Like, for a year and a half, there will be no fracking. How about this? I said, oh, the election's over. They said, a lot of these people on the stage, the Democrats, they said, who is going to?
Oh, this is the thing about giving health care. The clarity of the question was the issue that Biden had had. If you paid any attention or you were watching the actual primary debates as we were, that there was who believes in giving, like COVID treatments and the like, and testing without requiring citizenship to people so that it doesn't spread. It was not a clear question. That's why Biden was hesitant.
Pay for illegal immigrants health care. Who agrees to pay? And they all raised their hand. You saw that, right?
About DACA.
I said, that's beautiful, but Joe's hand hasn't, but I saw his shoulder was moving. Right? Right? Because he knew, his mind isn't so good, so he knows there's something bad going on. He's been doing this for 47 years, so he says, like, I got a problem. I have no idea what the question means, but they're all raising. So he's like this, and then finally he goes this, and I said, I just won the election. That's great.
And now you're 10 points behind him, and you're losing Florida. Is that what that was your response?
But then they deny it. Then they go and they deny. I've never seen anything, whether it's that or the fracking or other things. They just deny it like it didn't exist.
No, you make it up like it does exist, and then when people go, "What the hell are you talking about?" You think you call them fake news. It's the weirdest thing.
They get a
Why don't they ask them questions about the things I've made up in my own head?
free pass from our corrupt media. It's a corrupt media.
It's so corrupt.
I used to say
Boo the fake
fake. I used to think that was one of the greatest things that came up. Fake news, right? That was me. But I said, but now I have to go a step further. It's fake and it's corrupt. And a lot of times I leave the fake off because, corrupt is a stage worse. And many.
Jesus Christ. We're watching him road testing negative nicknames for things.
And I'll tell you, and this is true.
Thank you.
It's the single, which just about, it causes the problems. It's the enemy of the people. Our media is the enemy of the people. It's very, very dangerous what they do.
No, so if it's the enemy of the people, they're basically a marauding foreign army. I don't understand why your supporters don't just kill them all en masse right now. The enemy of the people. Adorable.
You've never seen it more than the last week between the big tech, and they're working on Section 230. You watch what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Totally. Go with Section 230. Do that.
But you've never seen a more egregious case than what's been happening over the
egregious. It's so egregious.
Last 3 or 4 years.
Thanks, Cassie.
I will deliver optimism, opportunity, and hope.
If the enemy of the people don't stop me in this egregious attack.
Speaking of Hope, Hope Hicks is here. Where's Hope Hicks? Where's Hope Hicks? The great Hope Hicks.
Where is she?
She was tested positive, but she's okay. Where's Hope? We want hope, right? We want.
Yeah, parade a woman from your staff out on the stage like it's a Vegas show.
Hope. I used to say, we want hope, and all these crazy people said, yeah, we want it. Where's Hope? Where's Hope? Come here. Come here. Come here, Hope.
Jesus Christ. Dance for us. Come up here and twirl.
Come on. She's shy, but not that shy. Come on, Hope.
Ew.
Hey.
Hey.
Hope. We want hope. See?
Oh, this is so gross. And when they get on that plane, he's gonna go, I made him yell for you, baby. Like, ugh. Now you are about to see a connection between two people that is awkwardly probably more personal than he has with his wife.
We can share a microphone now. Thank you all so much, and thank you, President Trump. I have stage fright, so.
Oh, she's great.
That was so good. I was so glad that that happened. That's so, like, come on, that's what people were waiting for. That got them on their feet. Hope walking out in waving and leaving. Ew.
So she tested positive and she got better so fast. It was like, that's called being young, strong, right? Young and strong, but she's been fantastic. Thank you, Hope. We're proud of you, Hope. So Biden will deliver pessimism, poverty, and decline.
Pessimist? Wasn't that a character from Much Ado About Something? Pessimist. Pessimist. Come down off your sad mountain.
And that's
Pessimist. Well, he's going what? He's gonna bring us pessimists?
so Biden will deliver pessimism, poverty, and decline, and that's what.
Pessimist, poverty, and decline. Pessimist, poverty, and patsicline.
Look, you know what drives me?
You know what does? You know what pessimism is? The little legal.
See, he's always criticized, saying, "Oh, I didn't act fast enough with China." But for 2 months after I did it, he said, "I was what? Xenophobic." I said, "What does that mean?"
This asshole still doesn't know what xenophobic means.
Xenophobic. What does it mean, Joe? Tell me exactly, please. Give me a definition. He said, "I don't know." That's what they told me to say.
Really? Really? No. All right. No one on his staff has explained to him. He doesn't have the guts to ask them what xenophobic means, or look it up on his goddamn phone.
But, you know, 2 months later, he said,
Like, I mean, you're alone as much as he is with your phone. You can't go into the bathroom and go, "Hey Siri, give me a definition of xenophobic."
I shouldn't have done it, right? But now his whole line is, "I didn't act fast enough. I did it in January." He's talking about it in February and beyond, late February, beyond, that I shouldn't have done it. Then I did Europe, too, very early. I saw big infections in Spain and Italy. You know, I did Europe. Nobody even talks about it. So we did with over 200,000 people. But remember this, we were expected to lose 2.2 million people and maybe more than that. And our people, whether it's Vice President Pence or all of these people that work so hard on the task force, they've done an incredible job. They've done an incredible job.
So good.
And when you look at our numbers and when you look at the surge that's taking place right now, and we're going down and Europe is going way up, they used to love to compare us, but we compared very favorably. But now we're making ventilators going to be perfecto. For Europe and the rest of the world, we're doing things that nobody thought was even possible. So I just want to thank all of the people that worked so hard on that. That's been an amazing experience.
Thanks, Mom.
But a guy like
we've covered this a bunch of times, like the per capita death rate and the fact that he just literally cannot grasp the concept of per capita.
And, you know, when you say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what?
Sleepy Joe Biden would terminate our recovery, delay the vaccine, prolong the pandemic, and annihilate Florida's incredible economy. Your economy is starting to boom with a draconian, unscientific lockdown. And
well, again, he's going to also say that they're going to reopen.
What happens with the lockdowns, right?
On November 4th, they're going to open.
What happened to people when they're in the lockdowns? Biden's plan will crush America. My plan will crush the virus, and America will be in a position very soon like it was never in before. That's what's happening.
Everything is like it's never before.
This week, even the failing New York Times had no choice but to quote, and they put a statement, probably the writer of the article has been fired since, it's been 3 days. But they said, this is quote, experts are saying with genuine confidence, New York Times, that the pandemic in the United States will be over far sooner than anybody expected. Isn't that nice? That's the New York Times. Can't believe it. I heard that. I said, give it to me again. Let me hear that again, because I don't
Because they're expecting that Biden will win.
believe it. Our early and aggressive action saved as many as 2 million, but maybe much more, as we said, maybe much more than that. We pioneered life-saving therapies.
No, you didn't. Remdesivir came from South Korea. Dexamethasone came from the NIH in the UK. They're the ones, I mean, they're made here, but they discovered their efficacy against the virus, and that's what you took.
Well, here I am. I mean, you know. Here I am.
Yeah, if you did nothing, right?
I don't know what the hell they gave me, but I'll take some more of it right now, because I felt... No, I had something Regeneron. Great. You're really, you know, the antibody things, and Eli Lilly
The antibody things, and Eli Lilly has a thing just like it, and I took the Regeneron.
also makes something very similar, and we're having a lot of it produced right now, and we're going to be delivering it, and it's going to be something. But, you know, our fatality rate, 85%. Think of it. We have it reduced 80 to 85%, all the way down. So this is what...
Hi, asshole. We don't have 15% of the deaths we had.
we've done is incredible.
No. 85% higher from base point is not the same as 85% lower from a base point. The base point is not April. The base point is now in what you're comparing. This is in statistical math. This is fairly obvious to everybody. But if you have something happening now, there's 100 of something happening now. And in April, it was 185. And you've knocked off 85 and you're down to 100. It was 85% higher from your baseline. April is not the baseline where you've dropped off 85% of that. So, yeah.
We understand what's going on. We understand that
No, you don't.
99.9 for young people. Like Barron gets. I said, how you feeling? Not good. How you feeling 2 hours later? I'm feeling great, Dad. It's, you know. Whether we like it or not, they have a little better immune system than we do, right? You know? We don't like to admit it. Let's never admit it, but that's the way it is. No, Barron's great. Our First Lady is great. People love our First Lady.
He can't figure it out. Look at his face. People love our First Lady. Shit.
They love our First Lady. Man, the abuse that she takes, she is a fantastic woman. She loves you. She says love. But they love our First Lady. They love her.
I don't, but they do.
And they love our family. How about Ivanka? Do we love Ivanka?
Oh. Unless he goes through and name checks everybody else.
Right? And Don and Eric and Tiffany, they all...
How about Ivanka, huh? And Don and Eric and Tiffany.
And they gave up a lot. You know, you don't read that. I lost hundreds of millions, billions of dollars through this. You know, this cost me billions, right?
No, it didn't.
I don't take the salary. It's $450,000. I don't do this. But if an Arab gentleman happens to stay one night in one of my hotels for $642.13, headlines, Trump is ripping off this.
They buy out entire floors and no one is staying in the rooms.
These people are bad. Billions of dollars I lost by doing this. And you know what? It's a great investment I ever made because it's an investment in our country. It's an investment in our country. Thank you. The greatest thing I've ever done. And we are doing things that nobody else would have been able to do. And I'm only doing it because of you. And, you know, when you think we're doing it together, But we are the difference between having a great country, and our country's going to be at a level in 2 years, 3 years. We need a little time to seed some of the things we've done. We still have more regulation cutting to do. We've cut more than any other administration.
Jesus Christ, ramble.
In history by far, but we still have more. You know, it used to take 18, 17.
Oh, Kathy, sometimes I do have to pee, you know, and I do, because when I'm prepping, I've had all these 3 beverages in the time. So yeah, I definitely, sometimes I gotta, but you know, for you, I can tough it out.
20, 21, it would take years and years, 21 years to get a highway approved. And then usually it didn't get approved. And it would cost.
Yeah, now they have to go through the process every year and go through the whole process again.
Hundreds of times more than anticipated. We have that down now to 2 years and probably 1. I mean.
No, they have to re-up it every year or every 2 years, depending on the project, which is what they had to do within the 20-year span anyways. This is just dumb. All you did was create more bureaucracy for roads.
Things like that, and it may get rejected for environmental or safety reasons. That's
yeah,
okay.
That's why it takes 20 years.
It's going to go quickly. There's no reason.
No.
You've seen the charts. I put them
make
up.
Adjustments,
all the process,
and then they refile.
The process that you had to go through to get a simple thing done. And now we're building refineries.
Highways are not simple. They're super complicated, especially when they pass between 2 states or 5 states. If they're actually going to make any difference, they're going to pass through 2 or at least 3 states, like in general. You're going to talk about like Illinois, Minneapolis into the Dakotas, something like that. Like that's what we're talking about. That's the highways he's talking about. It's all the northern part of the United States where they still haven't attached a big part of the highway system across huge chunks of that. And they keep getting rejected because of all the farmland and all the ranching land and the hills and the national parks and all that shit. And each state has a different value point on their natural resources. Some of them use it just for farming, so they can sell parts of it and the farmers don't mind if a highway goes by because it benefits them getting their product to market. And other ones, it's literally just scenic. And so they don't want a highway through there. So they're back and forth between them for decades. That's what this is. What the hell is wrong with this asshole going?
We're building incredible things that were not. If somebody applied for a refinery in the old days, people would laugh at them. They'd say, "You never get that approved." If you go to Louisiana, you take a look, in Texas, you take a look at what they're doing in terms of refineries, right? It's incredible. The things.
What do you mean, tearing down the old ones and putting new ones up that are using grants created during the Obama administration to make places more efficient and catch more carbon? What are you, that stupid? And do you want to brag about where these things are being built? You want to talk to me about cancer clusters?
We're doing are incredible, and that's all because of us. So this is the greatest thing I've ever done because nobody would be able to
the greatest thing I've ever done, except maybe Ivanka.
Do what we as a group have been able to do for
Chris Christie's on Anderson Cooper and he looks like shit. Oh, so par for the course? Yes, I finished all my beverages.
So I'm working to make the antibody treatment that I received available to anybody that needs it free because it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. And I view it, I mean, they call it a therapeutic. I view it as a cure. That's
because you're dumb. Because it won't work with everyone. A cure would work for everyone. Kind of like an antidote to poison. But it doesn't work that way. It's a therapeutic because it will work a percentage of the time.
Didn't feel too good. I didn't have a temperature in a lot of years. All of a sudden, sir, you got a little temperature going there. Oh, that's great. And I woke up, and I'm telling you, it was literally the following day. I couldn't get, and Walter Reed Hospital, one of the great.
I couldn't get what?
Walter Reed Military Hospital in the world. But I want to thank Johns Hopkins.
Wait.
I couldn't get, and Walter Reed Hospital, one of the great, Walter Reed Military Hospital in the world. But I want to thank Johns Hopkins, too. The one thing when you're president and you're not feeling too good, you're laying in bed, there's about 14 doctors surrounding you. Where are you from? Everyone's like a
I'm from Johns Hopkins. I run Johns Hopkins. I run Walter Reed.
who. But no, what they did is incredible. And we're
Still couldn't name them. Jesus.
making that available to everybody that needs it. I've signed an emergency declaration.
Everybody's sitting down.
We're telling everyone to get it approved. And we want to thank Dr. Hahn at the FDA. They're working very, very
Thanks for the cheers, everybody.
hard to get it approved very quickly. We're trying to get things approved in a matter of weeks. It used to take
Kyle, you're so weird.
years. Used to take years. That includes other drugs for other things where you'd have many, many years and a person's terminally ill and they go to Asia or they go home. If they had no money, they'd have no choice. They go home and they die. But we have incredible drugs, but it would take another 4, 5, 6 years. It would take 10 years. We've cut that number down in half, maybe even more than half, for other drugs, cancer drugs, etc. But we have a thing called right to try. I talk about it every once in a while.
By the way, do we even go into the whole conversation that Biden had last night during his town hall about McConnell and them naming the anti-cancer bill after Beau Biden that Joe got through, which many of the things that Trump is bragging about right now as far as cancer treatments come from that bill, not from anything he's done?
I'm so proud of it. It has had such an incredible impact. Right to try. It's a great name to me. And it's somebody who's terminally ill.
Is that Pence up there? No, it's Pence's stunt double. Right?
And we have a drug that looks really promising, and they're not allowed to use it because they're afraid it's going to make the person sick. I said the person is going to die. But not that easy, because you had the drug companies didn't want to take the liability. You had the country didn't want to take the liability. The drug companies, as an example, they didn't want to have it on their records because somebody's that sick and it looks bad on their records. The person didn't make. So I said, what we'll do is we'll set up a different sheet. We'll set up a different sheet, and maybe we won't even count it if somebody is so sick.
Yeah, we'll just hide the numbers. Why not?
And then, of course, you had the
That's how you science.
Insurance companies. They hated the idea
Because they can't keep track of what works and what doesn't.
We got them in a room, and we had a very strong document that there will be no liability to the country, and you have an absolute right to try. So somebody's terminally ill, you have no idea how many people have been saved by doing this. Some incredible stories. So, I mean, that's one of many, many things. That's one of many, many things. People don't even talk about it, but it's been, it's been just an incredible privilege.
Just a thing of, yeah.
Through Operation Warp Speed, we will have...
Oh, sorry, my bad. Operation Warp Speed.
Captain's log.
Okay.
100 million vaccine doses before the end of this year. The vaccine will end
Whether it works or not.
the pandemic once and for all. And frankly,
Is anybody in that crowd going to take a vaccine from a government employee?
I'll say it.
Is anybody in that crowd going to take a shot given to them by a government employee?
They'll hate this. Well, they'll actually love it. Even without the vaccine, the pandemic's going to end. It's going to run its course. It's going to end. They go
That's what there's the appeal. They're not going to take the vaccine.
crazy. He said without the vaccine. Watch. It'll be a headline tomorrow. These people are crazy.
Why are they crazy? Why would it not be important to point out that you're an asshole?
Now it's running its course. We're rounding the turn. You see the numbers. We're rounding the turn. And, this state 3 months ago, you know what happened? 3 months ago, we had a surge here. We had a surge in Texas. We had a surge in Arizona. Great governor in Texas, great governor in Arizona, great people.
Jesus.
We have a great governor here. We had surges, and they went up, and they went down. And now you're at your lowest numbers. And you're open, and you didn't close, and it's just amazing, right? It's great. So we're joined today by one of the greatest governors in our country, and I know a lot of good ones, and I can tell you there's some really bad ones too, but this is a great one, Governor Ron DeSantis.
Okay, we're going to skip all the crowd stuff.
Great, Ron. We going to win the state, please?
Yeah.
Fire him somehow. I'm going to fire him. I will find a way. Warriors, Matt Gaetz, who we said hello to. Matt.
Or Rick Gates.
Your area a little bit? No?
That dude's leaving. Whoa. Bye.
Also, Neil Dunn.
Great.
Like your suit
Neil
and
Dunn.
tie, very much. That's great. And another man who knows so much. He knows so much about the military. Thank you. Great to have you. Fantastic. What's up?
16.
How much?
16.
Well, that's pretty good. That's a good Trump district, I'll tell you. Michigan, you all know her. She was in charge of Michigan. Michigan hadn't been won by a Republican in decades and decades. She was horrendous to me. She kept calling me, please.
Oh, my God.
4 years ago, I said, you know what? That's it. Okay, I'm leaving. That's it. I'm not coming back for it. That's okay, so you don't have to. We're going to win. And I get a call the following day, so you have to come back for one more speech. And I did it. And we won the great state of Michigan, and she was in charge. Head of the Republican Party now, Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. I heard.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. All that bathroom talk made it so that I have to hold on. Let me see to open this. I have to use the restroom now. I blame you guys. And we're back. There we go. And just so you know, my bathroom off my office. This is the kind of things that are in it. Thanks to this is personal. This isn't even comedy. This is just all right. It's the kind of stuff that. All right, here we go. Back to where we were.
Came out. We're up 1 in Michigan. We're doing well. I mean, we should be up 30 in Michigan. We brought
Why?
many car plants. You know, they hadn't had a plant for 40 years, and we have many of them being built in Michigan. So we're going to do great in
No.
Michigan. Today, we're also praying for all of the families on the Florida Panhandle. I love that Panhandle. I don't know
Yeah, because it's Alabama.
what it is. I know it's a little away from here, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah, it's Alabama. Like the Panhandle is basically lower Alabama.
Hurricane Sally, the Panhandle, you know, we came and we were doing really well in Florida. And then the Panhandle hadn't been counted yet.
Panhandle.
Right, Matt? And we went out and they said, Trump has just won Florida. So wait a minute, they haven't even gotten through it.
Sorry, Kyle, you're gone. I peed you out.
I said, no, the Panhandle was like 94% or something. They said, if Trump is even coming into the Panhandle, there's nobody going to beat Trump. And we won it pretty easily, I'll tell you. But the Panhandle, so we're with the Panhandle 100%. Great people. Last month, I approved a major disaster declaration for the state of Florida, and I'll be with you all
Yeah, and I was going to deny the one for California, but then I got caught and called out.
the way, and we're doing some rebuilding. You got
By the way, these people are over it.
hit with a lot of storms and a lot of hurricanes, and we're with you all the way. And, you know, when Ron calls up, he's always calling me, sir, we need more money for this hurricane, that hurricane. We need more money for Lake Okeechobee. You don't care about Lake Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee is pretty far away, but he wants more. But that's what a governor should be doing, right, when you think about it. I can get angry at him. I can say that's enough. But he's somebody that wants it.
Updated 1 hour ago, Biden still clearly favored to win Michigan. Yeah.
And you two senators, by the way, Marco and Rick, they're doing a great job. And they're right now in Washington fighting for our new Supreme Court justice, okay? Marco and Rick. Great people. They're great people.
I don't know what their last names are, but yeah.
Under my administration, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world, and now we are doing it again. You know what it's called? Make America Great Again again. See all those hats? Make America great. Make America great again again.
Jesus. Like I guess he's turning the joke around. Oh God, that's just terrible.
See all those hats? Make America great. Make America great again again. But I don't want to do it a third time, okay? But we're doing it really nicely. It's coming along at a level that nobody can believe.
Coming along at a level that nobody can believe, like no one's ever seen before.
But these numbers are amazing. In my first 3 years, family income increased by $6,000. 3 years. More than 5 times the gains in all 8 years under the Sleepy Joe / Obama administration. Oh,
no, because first of all, you're including tax breaks and combining them. Your estimated value of the full tax breaks and salaries that were going in that direction. So you're padding your numbers with money they may or may not have ever gotten.
got an emergency.
Yeah, it was $4,000. It went up in 2 days.
They say, sir, I'm sorry to tell you, President Obama is going to start campaigning for Sleepy Joe. I said, so what's the problem with that? And they said, well, you know, he's going to start. I said, well, you know, he campaigned harder than Hillary last time, so why do we care? The other thing, he refused to endorse Joe. He knows what's going on up here with Joe. And Obama refused to endorse him. And even after Joe had won, he didn't want to. And then finally, like a long time later, he finally came out and endorsed him. But they called me. They said, you know, Obama's going to start campaigning. I said, is that good or bad? Because I think it's a good thing. Because, you know, they did a lousy job, and I wouldn't be president of the United States if they did a good job. I wouldn't be.
No, if they could have run again, if that ticket could have run again, it would have, like, there would have been no Republican primary that year.
I probably wouldn't have run. And if I did, I probably wouldn't have won, you know. So it's one of those things. They did a lousy job, and that's why I'm your president. African-American income grew 9 times more.
They did a lousy job, and that's why I'm your president. Not because I'm a great candidate, not because I'm worthwhile. Let's think about this for a second, because he said this a couple of times. We've been through this bullshit like a bunch of times, and he keeps bringing this up. They did a terrible job, and that's why I'm your president. Meaning, if, in his estimation, he has no business being there. That's the amazing part about this. It's not because, like, you know, I came along and I'm a once-in-a-lifetime candidate, quite frankly. Even if they'd have run it, because the braggadocious, the narcissistic thing, legitimately, if you were a genuine narcissist instead of a easily panicked rich boy with low self-esteem, the genuine narcissistic response would be, you know, even if Biden could have run again, which they didn't and couldn't, I still would have beaten them because I'm an extraordinary once-in-a-lifetime candidate, and I'm looking after you the way other people can't possibly imagine, blah, 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 and then go off on his other thing. But the constant refrain from him is, they did such a bad job campaigning that people were willing to settle for me. I wouldn't be your president if they weren't so awful, is what he's saying.
An African-American income grew 9 times more. Think of that. African-American, and these are numbers that Larry Kudlow given to me right from
Oh, so you know they're real.
a book. The great Larry Kudlow. African-American income, think of this, grew 9 times more than it did under Biden and Obama. Right? That's
Yeah. Not if you count the actual point where the Obama administration came in as far as unemployment and wages. You're counting during the pre-recession caused by the Bush administration, where the standard pay was, and then the drop. You're saying you don't count the growth that the Obama-Biden administration were able to create from the bottom of the recession. He's counting it from that point. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, great.
Big number. African American unemployment, Hispanic American unemployment, and Asian American unemployment all reached record levels, like levels that nobody's seen.
Yeah, but they never got closer. They were still divergent. Black unemployment and white and Asian unemployment, for example, never narrowed the gap between the two. They all went down on the same track they were going on in Obama, but they never narrowed.
It is amazing when Biden sits and he criticizes you, and then I say, wait a minute, it's not like he left 25 years ago. He left 4 years ago, less. And I say, you know, he's always criticizing. Yeah, he's not criticizing. He's got guys that write. They write pretty well, too, by the way. He has no idea what he's reading. But he's very critical. And you think he's been doing this stuff for 47 years. Why didn't he do it before? Why didn't he do it before?
Because he was a senator or a congressperson, vice president. He did a lot while he was vice president.
We lifted 6.6 million Americans out of poverty.
Oh, they're packing it up.
Since the China virus, we have created a record in the history of our country, 11.4 million jobs over just a short period of months.
No. 11.4 over a short period of... So he's claiming these are created jobs.
4 million jobs over...
Hold on.
Created a record in the history of our country, 11.4 million jobs over just a short period of months.
Created. Yeah, he's still yakking.
We've already
We're almost done, though.
The unemployment rate in half, and we're now down to 7.8. And I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd be happy with 7.8. I told you. But when I hear 42%, 38%, it's going to go to a number like nobody in history. I said, we can't let this happen, and we did a hell of a job. Under Biden, it took 30 months to recover more than half of the jobs lost in the crisis. We did it, instead of 30 months, we did it in 5 months. Think of that. Jobs have been recovering 23 times faster than the Obama recovery, which was, by the way, the worst recovery, slowest recovery in the history of our country. Now, they
No, it wasn't.
only go back till 1929, so, you know, I don't
Right. No, Kyle, you got to stick around.
have them say, there was something that happened in 1851, but I don't think. They go back to,
I mean, this is just dumb. We've done
I
this
think,
before.
29, all right? Long time. But it's the slowest, the worst recovery. We've stopped businesses from leaving, and factories are pouring back into our country.
Yeah, just because you say it, just say
We've
it.
spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years on NAFTA. We got rid of NAFTA. Did I tell you everyone said you can't do it? You know why you couldn't do it? They said you couldn't do it. You know why? Because it was so good for Mexico, and because it was so good for Canada, they said you'll never pull it off. They have a lot of power in our country, those two countries. I got rid of NAFTA, and now we have the USMCA.
Yeah, that was the problem, was everybody was in the pocket. Can you play it at 3 times speed? It's not a bad idea, David.
Which is just kicking in. And the other two countries, we like them both very much, but they're not thrilled. TPP, we wouldn't allow it to happen. That would have destroyed your automobile businesses, right?
No.
And China's entry into the World Trade Organization, Joe Biden approved that one, the single worst deal we've ever made.
No.
Because China was flatlining until
Yeah, millions of people were dying of hunger.
that happened, and then they became like a rocket ship. And they are considered, you know, a developing nation.
Yeah,
And I said,
we've done this.
you get tremendous bonuses, and it's ridiculous. We haven't won a... The treaty organization, is that okay?
World Trade Organization.
Because frankly, you know, we put up $500 million a year.
Yeah.
$100 million of World Health.
Yeah.
China, 1.4 billion people.
Look at these people just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, boy.
This is the kind of stuff that I see the stuff. I could tell you 100 different stories.
Oh, wait, do it. Tell them all the stories. You've got them in the palm of your hand. They're riveted, especially this dude. This guy, They're riveted. These two guys are completely enthralled by what you're saying. The one over there in the blue hat, those folks up there, these people, I mean, do it. Don't just stop with the 10 things we've heard 5 times in a row. Do new stuff.
It's so stupid and so unfair. So we took ourselves out. They're dying to have us back in. I could go back in for about $3 a year. He screams, don't go back. That's the
Yeah, he's an idiot.
problem. If I went back for $500,000, right? I'd be criticized. The Democrats would say, what a terrible thing to do.
Why? These people are sick.
It's incredible. Deal after deal. I could tell you hundreds of stories,
Please
but
do.
we
Yeah.
just take care of it all, and we do it really well. For decades,
Yeah, don't tell us the stories of how it works. We'll just take your word for it.
our politicians spent trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending
For countries you never even heard about.
foreign borders. But now we are finally protecting our nation,
Finally,
rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and
Yeah.
our troops back
Give it
home
up.
to the USA.
that's right. Give it up for Infrastructure Week.
Energy independence, and
Oh, God.
we have the best numbers from an environmental standpoint
And they're
that we've
sitting back
ever
there.
had. All this talk,
They thought it was the end.
you know, Paris Accord, which was a total ripoff of our country. But all of this talk, we have the best numbers that we've had ever. Now, ever. I always have to preface it because these people,
I always have to preface it.
meaning, let's say over the last 50 years, because, you know, once you get back too far, we had no people, right? You know, I could say the best in over 200 years. Well, you know, 200 years ago, I wouldn't say we had too many factories. I recently signed an order placing a moratorium on offshore drilling off the coast of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and a place known as Florida. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, so everybody else has to have all the, like, screw Pennsylvania and the fracking that they're going to have to live through and the crap in their drinking water. But you don't want to screw with the fishing and diving industry in Florida.
Signed that up. And so you're all protected, and Matt worked very hard on it. He worked very,
He
very
firked very hard on it.
hard on it, and so did your other great people here today, and your governor wanted it very badly, so we got it done. We invested $2.5
It's getting dark there.
trillion in the
people are getting
United
annoyed.
States military. We launched the first new branch of the U.S.
Space Force.
Armed Forces in 75 years. It's called the Space Force.
The Space Force.
Back NASA, which is now the #1 space center by far in the world. It was a closed-up mess. And we passed VA choice and VA accountability, and we have now
No, you didn't.
a 91% approval with our
Oh, this is shit. There was no captain's log on that one. He didn't say warp speed.
Captain's log.
But there you go.
We beat down ISIS, took 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Syria.
No, you didn't.
Saw that?
You told the generals, when we get to 70%, can we just get out and go home?
And Iraq. And when I came in, it was a mess. It was all over the place, and we did it. We have generals that are so incredible. The real generals. I'm talking not the paper generals. We have some of them, too. I had to beat off. We have some highly overrated generals, and we have some great ones, but these guys were unbelievable. We took 100%. Remember, I said, all right, we're coming home. We got 99%. They said,
No, you said 70%.
no, the paper. They said, we want 100%. I said, we're at 99. I want to bring them home. No, we want 100. So I stayed for another couple of weeks, and we took 100%. And we killed the leader of ISIS, who's
Oh, God, al-Baghdadi, and no one cares. No one cares. Like, he's been trying to fight this thing. Like, Obama got Osama bin Laden. End of conversation.
right? And we took out the world's #1 terrorist and killed many American troops. Khomeini is dead. One of the biggest things ever to happen in the Middle East. People couldn't even believe it.
Couldn't even believe it. It's almost like Osama bin Laden got killed or something.
And I withdrew last administration's disastrous $150 billion, $1.8 billion in cash, disastrous Iran nuclear deal. And you know what? When we win, they're going
to make a quick deal, like I screwed the pooch, and now they've got enough nuclear material to make a missile, and that endangers Israel, and everybody else in Israel except Netanyahu is freaking out because Netanyahu is part of a group who wants to actually start a nuclear war in the Middle East, hoping that they can bomb not only Iran, but Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and a couple other countries quickly.
The first call I'm going
to
get, and I'm not doing this as anything, and I'm not trying to taunt anybody, but because it makes sense. Their economy has gone to hell with our sanctions and everything I've done. When we win the first...
He just started sweating.
All I'm going to get is a call from Iran. Let's make a deal. And I'm going to get calls from other countries.
What costume will they be wearing?
They all want to make a deal. I said, let's see, because their dream is that Sleepy Joe wins. Because if Sleepy Joe wins, China will own the United States.
And that helps Iran how?
If Sleepy Joe wins, Iran will make another crazy deal where we pay him a fortune for nothing. We got nothing in that deal. That was a John Kerry incompetent deal. And the only time he got up, instead of walking away, was to go to a bicycle race. Remember that? 73 years old. His leg at his table. I thought maybe we got lucky. I kept my promise, recognized the true capital of Israel. Over the Golan Heights. And fly out. 52 years. I got it done in about 2 hours. Forging peace in the Middle East. In fact, only one for the Middle East. Only one for the Middle East.
These are the Nobel Peace Prizes.
Let's see what happens.
You lost. That's what happened.
Let's see what happens. But
you lost. That's what happened.
I tell you because they don't cover it. When Obama got it, he didn't.
He got one. You got nominated by the same asshole. Cheers, Norman.
What did I do? He had no idea what he did. And they made it a big story. When I got it, I did a good job. Kosovo, Serbia. They were killing each other for many years, killing lots of people. It was like they fight for years and decades and centuries, and they just fight. And we're making these trade deals. I said, wait a minute. Well, we're making the deals. But as part of the deal, we got
that was weird.
Them together, economically together. Isn't that good, right? Nobody can believe it. But that's
the hell's wrong with their feed?
Now the Democrats are pushing the most far-left agenda ever put forward by a presidential nominee. It's an amazing thing. Mm-hmm. This is the weakest presidential... Oh. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead. 100-year-old veteran right here.
Good for him.
Wow.
Yeah, and they brought him to a crowd full of people with no masks on who have COVID.
God, he looks beautiful. 100, huh? Looks better than I do.
That's, well.
100, that's great. What's your name?
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you very much, and he does not need Regeneron, okay? That I can tell you. He looks...
No, he probably will.
You look fantastic, so sit down and enjoy it, okay? What a beautiful guy. 100, you look beautiful. Thank you, congratulations. That's nice, great, I'm glad you pointed it out. The Biden plan would destroy Social Security, destroy protections for pre-existing conditions, you know that. Biden vowed to terminate our travel bans on jihadist regions. He wants to get rid of the travel. I won the travel ban, right? So there, people, somehow that makes a little sense.
We've been through this a bunch.
Come on, that's beautiful.
Nope.
Come on, that's beautiful. Wow, 105.
Why are they bringing old people to this thing? Are they just trying to get... Is the family trying to get them... Have they signed the will? What happened?
Oh. 105. So he went through what? How many? Two? How many wars? 2 wars? Well, he looks good, I'll tell you. That's great. Congratulations. You look beautiful. He's got a
What the hell is wrong with
head
these
of hair
folks?
than I do. I like your hair better than mine. Look at that guy. 105, and he's got better hair than the president. Good. Enjoy it. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. 100 and 105. Beautiful. Thank you very much. So they want to surge refugee admissions by 700%. This was agreed to with Crazy Bernie.
Why is that guy? Oh my God, that guy is so old.
Opening the floodgates to radical Islamic terrorism. We're not doing it. He'll ban school choice, which we have to have. So important. They want to end charter schools. You know why? Because he's controlled by certain people. You know who the people are?
Who?
And I say it
Who? Betsy DeVos?
with hesitation because I have tremendous respect for teachers, okay? Tremendous respect.
He's certain people who are controlling him. Teachers. And I hate to say it because I have tremendous respect for teachers.
I love teachers. And he wants to end your Florida opportunity scholarships. In the second term,
No, he doesn't. We covered that before. He's mentioning this in every single one. Most of these people don't know what opportunity scholarships are. The Florida state constitution is what outlawed the application that they were using for the Florida opportunity scholarships because they couldn't go to private schools or religious schools.
will provide school choice to every parent in America. We're already starting. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, a vote for the American dream. That's
Yeah. Boring. We'll get to it. What happened?
what? Going. Great. That's beautiful. A lot of spirit. Hey, do we have spirit or what?
Hey, we have a spirit or what? I mean, honestly, guys, this is seriously rocking and rolling and whatnot.
Well, that's one thing even the fake news admits. Our level of enthusiasm, the Trump, whatever the hell you want to call us,
Yeah, that's pretty much what I describe it as.
our level of enthusiasm, the Trump, whatever the hell you want to call us, the group,
You mean the cult?
is off the charts. I believe it's the highest in the history of elections, but it's the highest in history. And his level of enthusiasm is called non-existent. It's non-existent. There is no enthusiasm. You go through the communities, there's signs on every Trump Pence, Trump Pence, Trump Pence. I mean, you have to see it. It's like unbelievable. You don't see Biden stuff. You don't see it. We have the greatest level of
No, do you ever think maybe your people aren't taking you to areas where the Biden signs are because it will upset you?
enthusiasm, they say, I don't know, that
I don't know.
ever recorded. And by the way, one other thing. Gallup came out with a poll the other day. You saw it, right? 56% of the people in a pandemic are better off now than they were under the Obama or Biden. And it's the best number, I think they said, ever recorded.
No, it wasn't a question about under an administration. It was over time.
We're in a pandemic. It's not anybody's fault, but we're in a pandemic. 56. There's another one that's even more interesting. 62% of the people polled, this was Gallup, I think. 62% of the people polled, right, said
Totally.
they're lying. If that's the case, we're going to have the greatest landslide in history. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if I should be honored by it, but we'll take it. I probably
You mean people are ashamed to be your voters?
shouldn't be talking about it, but we'll take it. No, did you see that one? 62% of the, because they don't want to be bothered. Just leave me alone. We'll vote for Biden. Who the hell cares? But then they go. I can tell you a lot of people vote for us that you have no idea because they want low taxes. They want a strong military. They want a lot of things that we're doing. Over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China once and for all, which we will,
Been through this?
and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities.
Okay with it.
Free speech and the right to keep
Yeah. The
We
thing.
will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens.
Yeah.
Foreign wars.
Places you can't even name.
We
you've
will
never heard
maintain
of.
peace through strength.
Right.
Any country has ever possessed. The greatest in the world, all made in the USA, by the way.
Nope. They're not.
Ships. We have the greatest military ever. Russia, China.
They want all
We have
these
the
things.
hypersonic missiles that you used to hear about. We didn't have them because other countries were stealing our plans from the Obama administration.
Okay, asshole. You just admitted what we have.
But we now have hypersonic missiles. We have the
Hydrosonic missiles. So they make noise in water?
greatest military ever. And we did it very, very
Hydrosonic. Jesus.
quickly. And I only hope to God, you know, our whole nuclear arsenal has been redone. Hope to God we never have to use it. But the fact that we are so strong, when I came here, you heard the story. One of the generals, most highly overrated general I've ever met, actually. He said, "Sir, we have no ammunition." I said, "No president should ever have to hear that. We have no ammunition." Now
Yeah, that's not what he said.
we have so much ammunition, we don't know what the hell to do with it.
I'm sure you'll figure out something.
All made in the USA.
I'm sorry, Leslie.
We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency already signed, and it kicks in on January 1st, and further reduce the cost of prescription drugs. Always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Please remember.
Please remember that. I don't have a plan to do it. Hydrosonic is a toothbrush. That is true.
And we got rid of the individual mandate from Obamacare, which was a disaster. And if we can end Obamacare, we'll end up with a much better health care at a much lower cost with
How?
protection for people with pre-existing conditions.
What health care plan would that be?
So
Honestly, like he doesn't even.
see how that all works out.
They're not even bothering to actually show anything. Like that, it's not even one of these things where like here's the cover page. It's goofy.
And an astronaut on Mars, our space center.
An astronaut. An astronaut. Is that what we're doing?
Be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars, our
An
space
astronaut on Mars. He's getting denture slippage.
center, NASA. By the way, is that a beautiful sight? Look at that plane. I mean, I hate to tell you, but I have the exact same plane at home. It's true. The exact same plane. Except it's a different company that made the engines. I think those are Pratt & Whitney, and I have Rolls-Royce. I'm sorry. No, I have the exact same plane, but that is one of the most beautiful planes. 757, one of the most beautiful planes in the world. That's the smaller version of Air Force One. You know that. See, I'm trying to save a couple of bucks for the contract. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools.
Yeah, we've been through this
And
too.
always respect
Our great American flag.
And by the way, you see what's happening with all these sports leagues that don't respect our country, right?
Oh my God.
NBA's down 70% because
You mean because we're in a pandemic and people can't go to games?
enough politics, they don't want to hear it. So you know what? It's too bad, but that's the way
What?
it is. Stand proud for our flag and stand proud for our anthem, right? And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto.
E pluribus unum?
In God we trust.
Oh, I see, right.
For years you
Which God would that be?
president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Florida. Right?
Oh, God.
So
No.
get everybody, even if you have a boss, get the boss and say, "Boss, I'm going to rip you out of your office. We're going to go and we're going to vote. Go vote." It's the most important election in our history. This is more important than 4 years ago.
I used to say this, and then I say this.
Most important election in our history.
Yeah, you told the
Early
story.
voting starts on Monday, so remember. And keep your eyes open when you watch these ballots coming in. Thank you. I love you too.
think.
Go out and vote. Send in your absentee ballots if you want to do it that way, but make sure it counts. From Tampa to Tallahassee,
Oh, God.
from Pensacola to Miami, and from Jacksonville to right here in Ocala. I love Ocala. I love this place. I love horses, right? You like horses around here, right? A lot of friends who live here. We inherit the legacy of
Jesus.
Florida
You know, rich assholes like me.
patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, dug
Yeah, the big railroads in Florida.
out the Panama Canal,
Panama Canal, which goes right through Florida.
raised up the giant skyscrapers,
The big skyscrapers in Tallahassee.
won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and from here in this beautiful, wonderful state with that fabulous sun, landed our brave American astronauts on the face
Astronauts.
of the moon, right?
The T's must get really difficult when he's...
We made America into the single greatest
Gacked up.
nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. It's coming fast.
I don't know. I think Kimberly did it better.
Proud citizens like you help build this country.
Oh, God.
To you, the American people, that's happening now. Drive. We are going
skipping
to
ahead.
keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting.
And
And we are going to
whining,
keep on
whining,
winning,
whining,
winning,
whamming,
winning.
dooming. Proud citizens.
We are
Not-
one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation
Under God.
God.
Except for those Democrat-run cities and those Antifa people and the horrible, and they hate our flag and they need to be destroyed. And the press, who are the enemy of the people.
And together with the incredible people of Florida, we have made America wealthy again.
Oh, God. The reading on these is going to be weird.
We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again.
Made America proud. He's trying to accent on the maid this time.
We will make a
We wail. Well, what? Well, what?
made America proud again. We will make America safe again.
Yeah, that's right, y'all. We will make America safe again.
And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Get out and vote.
Oh, look at that. Right side's killing the feed. They must have got their stream shut down.
Trump wrapping up his remarks there in Ocala, Florida. We are not done, not by a long shot, folks. We are headed now to Macon, Georgia. We'll have some remarks, some closing remarks from Magnificent and Lilith
Yikes. No.
there. And
No. No, we're not. He did. There was another. Oh, God. Like, he thinks the dancing is charming now, so he's doing it everywhere. Clap, 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 clap. Hand job, hand job, hand job. Right. Point, point, clap, clap. I try to like it. Oh, God. Okay, you, point, point. High wave, point, point. Hello, fist, hand job, right in my hair. Pointing, kind of a broad single point for her. And where's Hope? There she is. Okay, Hope, get up, get me on the plane. Bye. Point, point, point. Clap, 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 clap. Here you go. Dancing, dancing, hand job, point, wave, 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 wave. Okay, I'm out. Over it. Bye, everybody. Okay. Cool. Gotta go. Okay. Thank you. Waving. Bye. Nothing is worse than an out of touch overweight white dude who thinks he has moves. It's a little rough. Yeah. People in the front row at these things. Oh, no. Oh, God. What is happening? Oh, God. That lady's filming that. This is I want her footage. That was rock solid. Yeah. Clap, clap, bye. Clap, clap, clap. I think I'll dance here. Dance it, hand job. That's the gamble. Oh my God, this is hideous. Dance some more. Hand job, hand job, hand job. Okay, bye. Yes. Marry her. What? See that? He said to somebody, like, marry her, like somebody's hot. Like the woman in the audience was attractive. So he was like, yeah, she's a keeper. Yikes. Who's dude back there? Looks like he has a clipboard with a bomb on it. What is that, a drone? Okay, bye. And that's it. And we walk down the little ramp there. And he's so much for going into the crowd and kissing people. Yep. Never happened. Okay, we'll go back to just me. There is no way I'm doing the other rally because it's going to be the same nonsense. Maybe I'll do it on my own. I'll record it and then I'll post it later so you guys don't have to sit through this. Jesus. Trump's town hall was a train wreck and was terrible and weak and stupid and predictable, and he was defensive, and Savannah Guthrie hated getting the job, so she wasn't going to let him, not leave a mark when she left. So, here's him going up the steps. Okay, I'm making it. Holding onto the rail the whole way. Used to tap it. Yeah. Hand job, wave, point. Bye. Okay, done. Criminy. Holy smokes. Thank you guys for the cheers and the bits today and the subs and gathering with me. Whew. Some of these, I got to be honest, some of these are getting tougher to get through because they're just so predictable and stupid. Did you see my tweet about Phil Collins? Yes, I saw that. Well, I saw you mention him. Yeah, Phil Collins sent the Trump campaign a cease and desist for playing in the air tonight at their rallies. But they're going to leave that to the locals and say it's not a campaign choice. So, yeah. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we love Phil Collins. Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. It looks like Biden got more views on his town hall. He did, indeed. I feel like I gave birth. I know, it was brutal. Oh, any Joe? Okay, let's see. Hold on one second. We'll grab a little bit right at the tail end. We can do that. I don't mind going out on an up note. Let's see. Grab the... Yeah, Trump's going to hop on the plane, get another snort of Pervitin. I'm loading a page right now, so give me a second. Grab this real quick. Hold on. All right. Just hold on. Give me 1 second. Page loading. Let's see. Give me a second. Trying my best. How are you guys doing? Yeah, Biden or kittens. We have, here we go. 1 second. The number of, oh, good. Biden speech. And there should be, is Toledo? No, that's Toledo. That's 4 days ago. I mean to click that. Sorry, excuse me. Going backwards. There's Gettysburg. Put it up today and see if there he is in Detroit. Second. If I can scroll forward, find this. See, I'll go find this. And as soon as I get him in there we go. Yeah, Motor City for Joe and Kamala. I like the artwork. This is nice. This is solid. Okay, here we go. Where are we? There he is. Hold on. All right. We'll go a little bit. Got a coat on. Having a good time. This is from their site.
We can't forget that winning in November doesn't just mean defeating Donald Trump. It means winning back the United States Senate and expanding our majority in the House of Representatives. That's why we need to send Gary back to Washington, D.C. I really mean it. We need him. That's the guy who knows what he believes and says what he believes and does what he believes. And alongside Debbie Stabenow for the people of Michigan, but not quite frankly for the whole country. Folks, as my coach used to say, it's go time. This is the most important election of our lifetimes.
And you can the honking is awesome.
All the difference here in Michigan. The choice is as clear as ever, and the stakes are higher than ever. The stakes are, in this election, remind me of something my dad used to say. He said, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about your place in your community. It's being able to look your child in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, that's a lesson I've never forgotten. That's what I grew up surrounded by, hardworking families in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Claymont, Delaware. How many people today, though, can look their kids in the eye and say, everything's going to be all right, and mean it? These times are hard. Unemployment is way up due to the pandemic. Just this week, over 1,200,000 more people file for unemployment. The economic outlook for next year remains uncertain. And across Michigan and the country, folks are worried about making their next rent payment or their mortgage payment or their car payment. They're worried whether or not they can purchase the prescription drug they need or put food on the table, have to make a choice. Worried about sending their kids to school, worried about not sending their kids to school. They see the people at the top doing a hell of a lot better, while the rest of us are left to wonder, who's looking out for me? That's Donald Trump's presidency. More than 215,000, I think it's now 217,000 dead Americans because of COVID-19. And experts say we'll lose nearly 200,000 more lives in the next few months. All because this president cares more about his Park Avenue perspective on the world and the stock market than he does about you. Because he refuses to follow the science. It's estimated if we just wore these masks, between now and the end of the year, we'd save 100,000 lives. Mm-hmm. Folks, you know what's really sad about all this? The president knew. He knew back in January how dangerous this virus was. And he hid it from the American people. He told the journalist Bob Woodward in a taped interview that the disease was deadly. In January, deadly, and far worse than the flu, and airborne. But here's what he did, according to the New York Times today. His administration gave Wall Street investors a heads up about it. Didn't tell us, but gave Wall Street investors a head up. But the American people, he said nothing. That's why they made so much money by, quote, selling short. They knew what was coming, but what happened to the rest of us? He told Bob Woodward he didn't want to panic the American people. We don't panic. He panicked.
It's great. I appreciate that this is how it's going, and I do like the honking or whatever. It does sound like people are, in a traffic jam.
and his reckless personal conduct since his diagnosis has been unconscionable. The longer Donald Trump is president, the more reckless he gets. Dr. Fauci, the leading expert in the country, referred to the president's announcement on the Supreme Court in the Rose Garden as, quote, a super spreader event, causing so many people to get COVID. And how did Trump respond? He responded by running a national ad, taking Dr. Fauci's words out of context. Dr. Fauci said way back in March, a quote, "I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more," referring to the public health officials. Yet Trump took that quote out of context and put it in a campaign ad, deliberately lying, making it sound like Dr. Fauci was talking about him. Even after Fauci asked him to take the ad down, Trump's campaign said they continue to use the ad, knowing it was a lie. That behavior is no surprise. After all, this is the same man who looks at Americans who put their lives on the line, like my son, put their lives on the line to save our nation, calls them losers and suckers. My son Bo spent a year in Iraq, won the Bronze Star, the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was no sucker, and the people he left behind were heroes. And now, as a consequence of this overwhelming lying, misleading, and irresponsible action on the part of Donald Trump, how many empty chairs are there going to be around the dining room table tonight because of his negligence? Folks, we're so much better than this as a country. Despite the crisis we face, we have an enormous opportunity to build back better. The American people have had the blinders taken off. To replace Donald Trump's incentives for companies to ship jobs overseas with real policies and tax credits to revitalize American manufacturing. To make it in America, make it in Michigan, buy American. Look, we're going to do everything to give everyone a fair return on their work, an equal chance to get ahead. For example, in communities of color here in Detroit and all across the country, the question is, how do we break the cycle where in good times you lag behind, in bad times you're the first hit and hit the hardest, and in recovery you're the last ones to bounce back? The answer is about justice, criminal justice, police reform. This nation is strong enough to both honestly face systemic racism and strong enough to provide safe streets for our families and small businesses that too often bear the brunt of looting and burning. We have no need for armed militias roaming America's streets. And we should have no tolerance for extremist white supremacist groups menacing our community.
It's a solid speech. I mean, this is his stump. He's given it in a couple of different places. He doesn't stray off and get lost. He doesn't he adds new information as news comes out instead of making it up, which is amazing. He's quoting the New York Times story that came out today. They folded that into his speech, and about them, about the Trump administration giving Wall Street the heads up. Yeah, and this is Sleepy, right? This is what he calls Sleepy Joe. So I recommend you guys checking it out. Every so often, if you've seen the stump speech, go on to their site. Joe Biden's got a YouTube channel, and hold on, I subscribe to it. And where is it? Yeah, and they post. They live stream all of his speeches and they post them all, so they're there. But it's nice to see, and you'll see the stark contrast. I obviously focus on Trump stuff because I'm making fun of him. And you guys should watch these on your own as an act of citizenry and hanging out. It's nice. We'll have little slices of them now and again. But on my entire raison d'etre online is to not give Donald Trump any ground to lie without somebody tapping the brakes. And that's the purpose of my show currently. After he's gone, we'll pivot to something a lot more fun. Believe me, there'll still be bad and easily mockable politicians out there to go after if I so choose. Or we might just, God willing, as we shift back to normalcy, go to a strictly pop culture format or something. I don't care. I just know that it'll be funny and fun and we'll all benefit from it. But in the meantime, I recommend you check out one of Joe's speeches all the way through and listen to the points he's trying to make, especially if you need ammo to push back against some of the crap you're hearing. And I want to thank you guys again for joining me and supporting me. I've got radio tomorrow, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, the HalSparks radio program, mega worldwide, WCPT 820, which is the radio station that I'm on every Saturday. It's a regular old-fashioned terrestrial radio show, not a podcast, although we make it into a podcast for the Sexy Liberal Network. So you can watch listen to the HalSparks radio podcast, mega worldwide. But in the interim, you can tune into the show tomorrow and join me there. That's in the morning. And then, of course, Sunday's usually my day off. These days, because we're only a couple of weeks away from the election, I probably will be back online trying to, make up for some of this. I'm also shooting. We got Sexy Liberal a week from tomorrow, so I've got a lot of shooting to do. So I might miss a day midweek next week, which happens. So in the interim, it would be really awesome if you guys join me on Sunday or what have you. If not, I will see you whenever you join me again. And I thank you guys for the support, for the bits, for the super chats, for the the Venmos anyways right now, or the PayPals, paypal.me/HalSparks. Pretty easy. That little picture, if you take a picture of that thing with your phone, it'll help you donate via Venmo. And if not, and again, become a patron, that would be awesome. We're still shooting for that 500 number. We're almost ready to crest over 400. We need 500, and it's a beautiful thing to watch, and I appreciate you guys. But in the interim, if you can't afford anything and you're just worried about the future and you just need a sanity break and you need somebody to just mock this idiot to his face, meaning Trump, not Biden, he's great. We're doing all right. That's really nice, actually. Then by all means, join me. Every day, I'll be here, doing my best, try to get you through this. And by the way, I personally believe, this is my own feeling, that after Trump loses, the next 2 months are going to be a quickening of the entirety of the Trump campaign. It will be insane. I don't doubt that they'll try and launch some sort of, fight judicially, even if nothing warrants it, even if it's an obvious runaway. Thank you, Montrose. I think they're going to fight it anyways, just because he's going to panic and freak out and he has to. But after he loses, and he will, I really do feel that way, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be 2 months. This is going to be crazy. So all those days will matter too, and I'm going to be after him. So anyways, I adore you guys. I will see you guys next time. Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. We will, like I said, I'll see you in the morning. Johnny Million will be with me, and we'll have our regular show as it goes. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. And you're being with us every day or every other day or whenever you join us, whenever you can. Coming in and out, seeing the whole thing or just a little bit, it means a lot to me. It really, really does. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Euromisia. But to me, Corona means Italy. They don't like the gas. Hydrosonic. I call it super duper. They throw cans of soup. You can climb right over their face. The company that his son worked for, that's Liberalism.
He thinks I made it up.
Unbelievable.
Yosemite. I had a beat off.
Captain's log.
Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately. Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
I had a beat off.
Captain's log.
That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. Wildlife refuges, I mean, you look at this, you look at what we do with our wildlife. The Burmese executives, so these Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. To me, Corona means Italy. You're gonna frack. You're gonna frack. Burmese. And then voila. You're gonna frack. And then voila. 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 Barron is beautiful and he's free. Burmese. Company that his son worked for. That's very nice. Hydrosonic. I call it super duper. Barron is. Soon it's going to be perfecto. 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 Burmese. Perfecto. Burmese. Perfecto. To me, Corona means Italy. Perfecto. When they gaze upon Yosemites, perfecto. So we're going to get it going to a level that nobody can ever turn course on us, nobody can ever change. Barron is, Joni has been fantastic and she's been fighting for Iowa values. Company that his son worked for. That's Burmese. 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 They throw cans of soup. But to me, Corona means Italy. Hydrosonic. I call it super duper.
I don't read, obviously.
Company that his son worked for. That's Burmese. We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges. Michigan gave us Motang. Michigan gave us Motang. Michigan gave us Motang. We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President Mike Pence and his wonderful wife Karen. Michigan gave us Motang. We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges. They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately.